Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to Let's Talk Battle Rap Podcast, the Battle Rap Podcast of New York, and the Battle Rap Podcast of the world, Craig. This week, we got an action-packed show for you. Man, my boy France, the jet setter, is all around this country covering the battle rap for you. He took a flight down to ATL, went to go cover that Hitman Holla Bags and Bodies premiere. You know what I mean? Then he came right back to New York and went to go cover the Chrome 23, round of 8 event. That was crazy. So we get the full insights and details onto that. And obviously, we're going to catch you up on everything that's going on. And we have a special guest. Our man JSmo comes on board and tells us about everything that happened at Traffic 5. We have a full in the building recap. Also, we have live interviews too, so stick around for that. Like I said, action-packed show. If you want to follow the show at LTBR Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Also, log on to letstalkbattlerap.com. We are dropping mad articles this week, so get your read on. And man, thank you everyone for always tuning in like you always do. And now enjoy the show. All right, friends, you know what time it is, man. One of the most anticipated events just went down in I'm going back to Arizona. And we got our homie JSmo from Twitterland. Y'all know him. Y'all heard him. He's been giving his reviews. He's been dropping his thoughts. My man is mad critical, mad analytical. And tonight he's here, man. He's going to let us know everything that went down at the Traffic 5 event. It wasn't live stream. Only a few people were there. And by a few, I mean a few hundred. And everyone has their own tale of the tape. All right. So, but we're going to get it from JSmo right now. And JSmo, welcome to Let's Talk Battle Rap Podcast, player. How are you, man?
Doing great, man. It's an honor to be here. Let's talk battle rap, extremely pivotal part of media. And I'm just, happy to be here. Hopefully I can give some accurate, depictions of I know them in the building recaps can be a little hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? If you've been a battle rap for a minute, we all know that. So hopefully I can give you an accurate depiction of what I thought was one of the better events of the year.
Oh, man, listen. And remember, it's accurate to you because, everybody has to see these battles for themselves and give their own points of view. But I can't wait to hear what you thought about these joints. And I can't wait to see what I think about the battles after I hear what you said about them. So, you got a lot of people clamoring and wanted to know what happened. First and foremost, man, set up the visuals for me, the venue. How was your day leading up to the battles? Were you hyped? Was this your first URL event or like, you know what I mean? Tell me.
Yeah, this is actually, I think this is around my 4th or 5th. Funny enough,
Okay.
For most of my fandom, I've actually been old enough, but over the last few years, I've gotten to pop out to the Drake card. Well, first event I ever went to was Summer Impact, funny enough, which is a pretty great,
Oh, that was
introduction.
yeah.
And then
Oh,
I
you
was able
popped
to
your
go to the
cherry on
Drake.
a good one.
Yeah, I was. What was that? I think I was like just turned 18. I had no idea what to expect. I'm not really a live event person for most things. But man, that was something special. One of the best live events I've attended, in my life for anything up to this point. And then the Drake card, No 12. I've been around. So Traffic though was my first kind of downsized-ish event. I mean, obviously Traffic's still a respectable series, but I wanted to get a more, intimate view of what a couple hundred people in the room is like. And it was really good, man. I was out there. My degenerate ass is out there 9, 10 a.m. We woke up.
Oh, hold on.
He's one of those.
Hold up. You were out there at 9 a.m.?
Well, we got there.
What time did the doors open?
Doors opened at, because they opened, man, that delay was a killer. Doors probably open around 12:31. They're supposed to open at 12. And I had a 2-hour drive from Tucson to get over to Phoenix. So I was already up early. I get up early to begin with. But it was nice. I mean, it was a little bit cold out there. They had us out. That's what I get for showing up early. But venue was nice. Thought it was interesting. They had booths really all over the place. I'm used to just like standing space in the venue. But it was a lot of people at the whole event sitting down in booths and still were able to see it. Definitely like a cool, like mini-ish club setting. And it made it so to the fans that wanted to be up right on the guardrail and right up there, you still get the energy and the diehards, but you can chill out by the bar, you can chill out by the back tables and still enjoy the event. So besides a 3.5 hour delay, which is just kind of a staple in battle rap, you know what I'm saying? It seems like it's just been that way. But you take that away, I thought that they set up the venue real nice. And once they got the battles going, it was very quick. Really, at most, it would be 15-20 minute intermission. So, finally, when they got it going, they said there was going to be an 8 p.m. cutoff, and they got the production rolling.
Nice.
Listen, man, I'm excited to hear everything about Traffic because look, one of my favorite things about this card is that you have Bill, Saynt, and RX, who were just previously on King of the Dot, making some return to URL, some debut, and everybody just kind of had all three of them as major underdogs. And I really wanted there to be a statement being made, like, look, the talent disparity across this platform of battle rap that you guys see is not as wide as I like to think that it is. But we're gonna dive into all these battles, Smo, and the experience of the night. First, before we get to the first battle, what was the energy like? I did see JB go live. Salute to JB the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I saw him go live and went around asking everybody, what's your predictions? And he actually popped up on the live. You actually popped up on.
Yeah, no, I remember he was at the front camera. He was asking everybody in the front 2 rows, I believe, their battle of the night and possibly performer of the night it was.
Yeah.
But no, atmosphere was great. Even with the delay, that because you guys have been to events, you get to chop it up with the people around you, get to get real tight with them. Obviously, I've been to enough events now where there's a couple familiar faces, and overall, even with the delay, that last hour was rough, but for the first 2.5, we were still in there debating battles, still asking, who's gonna be battle tonight? Nah, he's gonna get killed. Nah, he's not gonna kill you. Crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that gets us through the line and gets us to the event. So I can definitely say that the energy was good. A lot of good battle rap fans, and even throughout the night, the reaction was good, and rarely did it ever get too low on reaction or like really gas out. Although there was one instance, we'll talk about when we get to it. But outside of that, I thought that the crowd was really good and made for, added to the event as the crowd should.
Ballpark, what would you say was the number of people in attendance? 200, 300, 500?
I would say probably between 2 and 3.
Okay.
I'm short as hell, so when I'm in the front and looking back, it's kind of hard to see, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody going back to the back tables, but it was definitely, the whole floor space was packed out. Over to the right, there was about 3 or 4 booths and had a lot of like the battlers, families, posses before they got on stage, and that was pretty packed out. And even going to the back tables, you had people that were kind of at certain times interrupted the event a little bit. They were having a little fun back there. So yeah, I'd say at max 350, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 250 overall.
Before we get into the battles, one more thing I want to ask, so make sure to shout you out prior that you were going to be doing the updates, because spoiler alert for people listening to the pod, JSmo did a recap article for us. And if you're listening to this, it's already available on letstalkbattlerap.com. Go ahead and check that out. Shameless plug. But
and it's a good read.
Oh yeah. My man's went to work. But we shouted you out, and that tweet blew up like 40, 50, 60 likes, bunch of follows, probably everybody liking, tweeting.
My phone never done nothing like it.
Turning on your notifications. People were turning on the notifications for your updates, like crack on a Sunday. And so tell me a little bit about like the experience.
I had to get the external battery back.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the experience of like trying to capture bars while like also soak in the performance while realizing everybody on social media is like, yo, what's next? Tell us, feed us, tell us more.
Yeah, like, the updates. First of all, one thing that I knew would be a challenge is bar quoting. To me, it's important to quote bars, but at the same time, if you butcher anyone's setup or even slightly a word outside of the punch, you can really not give off the feeling of what the bar is. So I try to be very serious about that. And when I watch events in general, I take notes on my laptop. It's been like that for a year or 2 now. So I am used to doing a lot of typing back and forth from the TV. And even in a weird sense, somehow in person, it was a little bit easier. I don't know if that's just because I'm conditioned to it, and from the TV, it's different live, but that was crazy. And then obviously when you guys shouted me out, I think I gained like 200 followers. My phone turned off at one point, did the weird, just blacked out for a second and came back. I'm like, oh, we don't got the facilities, you know what I mean? But
I was like, we don't got the bandwidth for this, man. What's going on?
The only time it became a real issue was when we got to the last 2 battles of the night, which were Chess and Saynt and Rum and Bill, which I'd said, beforehand were by far the 2 best 2 battles I was looking forward to most on the card. My phone was at 20%. I think I even tweeted out, I was like, at God, at Apple. I was like, don't fail me now. I was like, don't do this. So they didn't. I think I got out with about 2 or 3%, but next time definitely investing in one of the portable cases, man, because trying to make 80% stretch across, you know what I'm saying, 10 hours is sorcery. But yeah, definitely enjoyed my experience.
In the field, media work is work, man. You know what I'm saying?
I worked. I told my my girl picked me up. We have people's up there, so
Vlad,
we're out in Phoenix.
People underestimated Vlad.
I told her, man, I was like, that shit was work. That was the job that I worked. Like that wasn't just a regular experience, but I love the grind, man. So it's no problem about me.
Jay, the early days, we used to bring phone chargers to the joints, and look for outlets, man. Like you bought a bar.
I thought about it, but I was like, I can't get away with that. That's exactly what I thought at first, though.
Straight gorilla. Imagine how dedicated you got to be in a club with your phone charging up in the wall, and you're trying to quote bars and look at it. It's madness, man. But I'm so glad we've progressed from those days, man. Like it was truly guerrilla style back in the day, man.
Yeah, I could only imagine, but like still a strenuous experience. You try to take a bathroom break, but you don't want to miss a bar. Even if I go to the bathroom real quick, I'm like listening to hear a little, like, I'm like, can I catch a little something to quote? You know what I'm saying? Throw that out there real quick. But I definitely could prepare for it a little better. Maybe not showing up, degenerate time, especially if I plan on doing stuff during the event. That's going to take up my energy. But
conserve that energy and battery.
Yeah, it comes down to the battery. If it wasn't for the battery, I would have been chilling. I would have had no turbulence, but I think I still did all right. The people seem to like it, so I'm happy about it.
Yeah. Now your first few events were the mega events. I mean, come on, man. The Summer Impact, Drake event, all that stuff. Now, what was the feel like in comparisons to those mega events to this more like intimate event? Like, what's the difference of someone who's never been to either? You know what I'm saying? Can you give them the feel of what it's like to go to a mega event and a tight condensed event like this?
Yeah. Well, one thing I will say that's uniform is the love in the building. I can't express to people enough, anyone listening to this, if you've thought about going to an event, but you're like, that was kind of crazy, it's a little bit of a toxic, shit talking. Nah, man, the energy in the building is so much love in the line. Even when the battlers come down and you get to kind of just see the regular personalities, these people behind the persona, you might see they come and chop it up. Staff, obviously JB mingled with us for a while. It was dope. And compared to a mega event, I loved SI, Summer Impact, and the Drake card was a little bit different special. Drake was handing out Henny. I don't even know how it got to that point. That was ridiculous. But I would say the difference is that you do get a couple more. I feel like as going to a traffic, you get some people that are paying attention a little more. Not to say at the big events they don't pay attention, but I think we all know we can spot someone. Maybe we talk to them for a while. You can just see in the crowd, like they might have decided who they picked before that coin got flipped. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is part of the big event. They're flying to see the big talents. That's why the big talents get paid the way they do, when you can draw fans out that want to come specifically for you. But as we got into, more condensed event like this, there's a lot more respect both ways for the battlers. People were holding on every bar. And I feel like the competitiveness is really pushed up to the next level, because you're not worried about the optics or 1,000 people, or do I have to sway this crowd this? You can really focus more on your craft and not about the outside parts. And that's when you get the best material from the battlers. So that's why I thought Traffic was, I've been to some bigger cards, but Traffic quality wise hangs with the SIs to me, or not, maybe not the SIs. That's a tall tale, but quality wise, it's up there with some of the best events I've been to.
All right. And we've been talking for a minute now, and the people are clamoring to know, how the hell was the event, the first battle, all the battles? Let's get it cracking, man. Talk to me, the first battle. How was it, player?
It started out, they opened up with Yoshi versus RX. And going into the battle, I predicted a debatable, cool battle, especially with Yoshi having her schedule coming up. Some, questions because RX doesn't have a humongous body of work, so it could be, hit or miss depending. But the ladies had a good battle. Really one of the better, more debatable back and forth of the night. RX, any pacing or delivery issues or little critiques that people have had, I thought that she really worked on this battle. She rapped very fluidly. And something else was her rebuttal ability, which as the battle went on, she showcased. The battle's going to come down to the first. That I can just tell you that off rip. The second round, Yoshi was able to take clear, and the third, RX was able to take clear. But that first round from both was really special to me. I did not like RX off the rip, had a couple humongous haymakers. She had this attachment. I got attachment issues, talk about attachments on her gun. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Yoshi being Yoshi, kind of her personality and battle rap that hit. But Yoshi had an incredibly layered written performance. I thought with Caution coming up, it might be tough to balance it, but you got an 8 out of 10 version of both of them.
Oh.
I had Yoshi personally winning the battle 2-1, first edge, second clear. But I there was a lot of RX first and third in the building. And overall, I'd give it was battle I expected maybe to be 6 out of 10, and it was about an 8 out of 10. So very pleasant surprise for first battle of the night. And I'm sure people will have it as a debatable when it hits the general consensus.
Okay, all right. I can't wait to see that one. RX is family to the show, and Yoshi, she's always been a supporter. We've always supported her, and 2 women on the grind. I can't wait to see this one.
The only issue I would say that caused a little turbulence is their third both took a step down. RX had an angle talking about Yoshi's kids, took a disrespectful approach. And Yoshi, who is prone to, getting knocked off course in the ring, a little bit emotional from it. She even says, like, I don't like she talked to my kids about my kids. And, it's definitely understandable, but in this sport, that's gonna happen. And especially if people know they can press your buttons. We talk about this. You can't be losing your composure. It's never choking with her, it's composure losing. And that kind of is what played into her losing the third clear. But her first 2 rounds were so good that it was definitely a net positive Yoshi performance, even with the third having a little turbulence.
Were the bars below the belt? Were they like a little reachy, or you know what I
She
mean?
had
Like,
a
because
one.
when you talk about kids, like, because RX got kids, it ain't like she ain't got no kids. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
kind of interested in it because I've never heard her go in that direction before. How did you feel about the bars, my man?
I thought that she executed a pretty solid angle. It didn't blow me away, and she definitely didn't miss with it. She did have some talking points on you have 3 kids and you don't spend time with them, which I think is the part that actually got to Yoshi. Flipping, like she had a bar. You're always asking for dudes to nut on your features, but when you go home, you already got 3 kids in your face. So that to me was a great bar. But I think when she got more into the you don't
It's an
spend
Arsenal
time with
level
them.
bar right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought there was straight disrespect parts were just cool. That's what kind of set her off. But there was some good bars mixed in there. A fairly well executed angle. I didn't think it was too below the belt.
Right. Now, I gotta ask, was it a clean battle? Did both ladies get through all 3 rounds cleanly, or was there some turbulence in this joint?
Some real slight stumbles. I would call them more lapses, which is like it's almost you visually see the stumble more than you would hear it if it was just audio, where you can clearly see like, oh, she got this word. But for the most part, they both had a little bit of that. But it says, RX I know has got some issues, with memory and cleanliness, but no full out chokes, no heavy stumbles or anything like that. For the most part, they definitely both wrap their material fluidly.
That's what I'm talking about, ladies, man. That's what I want to hear. Because that's honestly, that's all I really wanted from both of them, is for us to get like a clean battle all the way through, and for them to be, at their potential, because they're both good when they're on. But when you get the chopping it up and the stumbling, and it's just like, I don't want to watch
build
this
momentum,
anymore.
especially for Yoshi, who is a momentum rapper. The pen to pen. Even though she isn't like this style, reminds me a little of the Chaoses and the Sheeds, where she does get into the intricate, the one line, the wordplay leads directly into the next line of wordplay. So it's very important for her to be cleansely, and that I think it both added. And want to reiterate before we move on to the next one, RX's rebuttal ability. Her second round rebuttal, she said, you called me a witch while I flew in with a sweeper, and it was mid-round. Nobody saw it
Mid-round.
Wow.
Wow.
When she said it, it took us a minute to realize it's a
she was
rebuttal.
comfy.
Like
she was
on her
comfy.
Danny Meyer shit, yo.
She had a crazy one in the third too. So it's good to see her, extend her skill set to that. And if she has any more URO plates or plates against top tier ladies in the future, this is definitely a performance that makes me more interested to see her versus some of the other, highly named ladies.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Salute to RX, salute to Yoshi G. That's what I'm talking about. What was the next battle, my man?
Next battle of the night was Jey The Nitewing versus Nunn Nunn. They had a little bit of confusion. There was they called 80 different battlers up, but they finally got Jey and Nunn Nunn up. And it was definitely going into it. I thought it would be like a cool debatable, and it was a cool debatable. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't I know the people, it's not the funnest answer. The people don't always like to hear that. But what I will say that people will like is we've talked a lot about Nunn Nunn has kind of had an issue having maybe a breakout round or a round that people really feel like, oh, this is great. Nunn Nunn's first was great.
Okay.
I mean, for a guy that's been, I think, just consistently good at his one level for most of the year, his first versus Jey, I thought was just really, really good. Jey went first, and Jey obviously by nature has a slower delivery, but I thought in the first 2 rounds, it's one thing when it's a signature your style, and then there's rapping too slow. no matter how you slice it. And I thought his first was definitely a good round, but there is the pauses of controlling the room. But when Nunn Nunn comes with rapid punching and there's haymakers in it, it's not just base level. He's having quotable bars. The difference starts to get shown. Now he's landing every 4 and it matters, as opposed to Jey, who might have a haymaker, but it's coming every 16, a little bit of dry space in there. So Nunn Nunn clearly took the first. And then just to skip to the third was Jey's best round of the battle. Nunn Nunn had just gassed out by that point. Wasn't terrible, but just kind of going through the motions. And Jey had one is more introspective, walking him down, talking a little bit murderously. I think very similar to his Tink performance, his third in that battle, minus the choke that people don't like to talk about. But he did take the third clear. And then the second round from both, and which is why I deem the battle a cool debatable, is it's a mid second from both. The building was pretty torn on who to go with. They both had flaws. Nunn Nunn was going through the motions, punching, but just jabbing at a consistent rate, while Jey was landing some heavy bars, but it was monotonous. I mean, the second delivery wise, it was, like I said, I love Jey's unique style and that slow, aura he has to him. But the second was it was like a sloss pace. So the second will be a toss up. It depends on what people like. Wouldn't shock me if Jey takes it on the app, being the history there. But to me, it's a split down the middle, debatable battle.
All right.
Okay. Is this a performance from Jey where it's like he's back, or it's like he's getting back?
Yeah, if anything, it would be in the getting back spot. I was more impressed with his Tink Da Demon performance from earlier in the year. Just because I feel like in that battle, he similarly had peaks and valleys, but his third was great. People walked away from Jey's third versus Tink, that was amazing. I don't know if he's going to have a round that makes people feel like that, but overall, I'd say he had a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 performance, which you can't hate on. But when we know that the guy really at this point should be a top tier with his potential and already on big stages, it's still we want more. So I think people will be somewhat satisfied, but he also left some on the table.
Okay. I mean, but Jey has been saying for a while now that he's a little disenchanted with battle rap. He's lost a little bit of that fever for the flavor, and now, like you said, he normally has a slow flow. So if you're already doing something that you're kind of not so enthused about, now you're dragging it out a little bit more. And I mean, I would love for him to find that love and passion, but if it's not there, sometimes it's all right to take a step back and just chill and just observe and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like maybe him doing these are just fulfilling obligations, to finish out the contract and stuff like that. And it's always dangerous when you got those kind of battles, because your legacy is still living out there. You're still working on it.
I always say this, you cannot replicate hunger, right?
No,
there's this level
100%.
of passion that people have. Somebody that's on this podcast right now that's able to go to an event and have an article done in under 12 hours. That's passion that you cannot replicate. You know what I'm saying? And what Jey The Nitewing had in 2020 was so special. You know what I mean? It wasn't just he was having extreme performances. He was also dominant and having all these wins. And after his third round against Twerk, when he hit him with the relax, that was monumental. I was like, oh, Jey's arrived around. He's here. He's here. I mean, the environment hadn't changed. It was still a small room, but the level of competition had elevated, and he matched it. He made a moment. Arguably had an all Euro round against it. You know what I'm saying? And it lived on to be one of the highest reacted rounds for the rest of the year. That's how high of a bar Jey set for himself. So whatever mindset or frame he was in at that moment, I don't know if he was able to find it or reconnect with it again, but I really hope that passion or motivation, that drive finds its way back to him, because that let me know that he was on course to be, and still is, an extremely talented and special battle rapper.
I 100% agree.
True. And sometimes you can't go back to those things that inspired you or go back to those moments. Sometimes you got to find new inspirations or have new things that inspire you. You know what I mean? So you got to find that new inspiration, because it's like if somebody was broke for 10 years and all of a sudden you got some paper, and you're not going to have that same hunger, so you're going to have to find a new hunger. Maybe it's saying, okay, I accomplished this, I want to accomplish that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find new ways to continue to push yourselves. And if you can't, then, you got to fall back and regroup and analyze and say, okay, is this something that I really want to be in? Because there's nothing like showing up and just being so or just being mediocre. It's like you're wasting your time, you're wasting our time. And you would go to events, our feet hurt, man. Our backs hurt. Like we're putting in pain, we put in labor. Like you don't want to be there. Stay home, bro. Let somebody else get that chance. But sounds like Jey is still working it out, still trying to get back to it. So I still got faith in him. If it's something that he still wants to do, he's ultimately very talented. But you gotta put in that work, man.
And it's funny too, just because I didn't add it when we said it, but I actually had Jey winning the battle. I did have him edging the second round, which, like I said, complete toss up, and he won the third clear. So any of the critiques we're making now, obviously, have been commonly said, and aren't out of slander, anything like that.
No, not at
Man
all.
winning the battle, but after what I've seen, he without a choke, he would have cleared Av. I watched him have an amazing battle with Danny. I watched him dominate a shotgun Suge, who right now is one of the hotter battle rappers in the world. So when you see that, and then you see a performance like that, where it's like, oh, it's a kind of debatable edge on Nunn Nunn. It's just, yes, you're doing good, but you're doing the minimum. I know that there's more there for you. So I hope he still gets booked. I hope he can find that passion. I agree with the points, but it's up to Jey.
Absolutely. Next battle, my man.
Yeah, next battle, which will probably be the quickest one to cover here, is Loso versus Tink Da Demon. I don't think any of the footage from this event was unwatchable, but this was easily some of the worst footage that did come out of the event. And it's not Loso's fault. I thought Loso had a fairly good performance. I mean, the man performed on a torn ACL, and he showed up with crutches. I reported, I was like, how is that going to play into his performance? We know Loso's little all over the place. It's kind of like an evolutionized PG step. You know what I'm saying? Loso is very animated with his performance. So he actually had his crutches, and he has a walk by faith bar where he's like, this round we're going to walk by faith, and opens up by throwing the crutches off to the side. And that was coming off the back of a very just lackluster Tink first round. So by that moment, literally after that haymaker, there's a fairly good chunk of people that were like, Loso 1-0, and I'm like, yeah, this might go the way I'm expecting. And that really, the synopsis of the battle is, it was about a 70 to 80% Loso. Definitely took some good approaches, but wasn't, the crate, no JC Loso, not blowing the roof off, but he really just handled business. And as for Tink, while there was small memory lapses that never led to chokes, he has a pace and breathing control issue. We just talked about it for Jey, but for Tink, it's much more dire because he already raps slow. And when the breath control, when he starts running out of air, his material at times isn't always like the craziest, most creative. So when he gets into the murder and I'm gonna do this to an angel, but it's slow paced and he's breathing, it makes the rounds just, I don't want to be too harsh on it, but it makes it, very hard to win a battle when you have rounds that really as a whole can be addressed as a dry spot. So really the only performer of the night that I thought kind of was on the bad side of, of the scale. And Loso was just able to, kind of show the talent gap. And to me, easily got all 3 rounds of the battle in something maybe similar to a Loso Arsenal type of battle.
Jey, I ain't gonna lie. When I saw him throw the crutches down, I said, okay, he's standing. Then I'm like, this fool gonna try to take a step. Yo, my brain, I was like, if his knee gives out right now, he's leaving the Christian faith right now. And he's throwing it all away. I was like, Loso, please do not break your leg for battle rap, because they will make fun of your ass and not say, oh, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
the
they would have
fact
waited
that
for a
he made it,
rebuttal.
yo, they would have, battle rap is cruel, man. They wouldn't have let him live that down. So salute to Loso for flying out on a busted ACL, man, and not just laying up at the crib and with an ice pack, you know what I'm saying? Salute
Definitely
to
did his
Loso.
numbers.
Big salute to Loso. I'm gonna say this before we go to the next battle. I feel like he always kind of handles business when he has like opponents that are probably, just to say ranked lower than him on the app. You know what I'm saying? To be politically correct. And I'm glad to hear that he handled business this time around. He also has the clutch battle that everybody said that he got the victory for, the judges' scorecards for that as well. So he's probably got 2 wins ready to drop on the URL app soon. He'll be 12 and 13 on the app. This is just a great reminder that Loso is still, one of the top prominent guys in the league. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Next battle, por favor.
And I want to say, as we get into these top 3 battles of the card, while like up to this point, you know, I've had more good than bad to say, like I said, but these top 3 are what make this card completely. And particularly this battle, which I'm going to say now, was the battle of the night, in my opinion. Battle of the night to me, most of the time is going to come down to the most competitive back and forth. And that was Sheed Happens versus Kid Chaos, which I know many of us knew stylistically, when you add up the motivations, what they both do, kind of how they mirror each other, that this was going to be a great battle. But with the exception of a third that took a small step down, this was very close to being an instant classic. I have so much praise for both of these gentlemen. And from the first round, shout out to Battle Rap Doctor. You know, he was in attendance. I got to chop it up with him real quick. I, you know, talked to him for a lot of time through Twitter and the internet. So I got to, you know, meet him. And I asked him, like, how's the guy going to do? He said, this one's going to be clear. I was like, all right, we're going to see what happens. She decided to go first. And Sheed's first round, from the beginning to the end, was marvelous. I don't know if he can peak higher than that. It reminded me of his True Foe rematch in UM5, where it's chain punching, but it's chain haymakering. From everything, his performance, the speakers was there was like an elevated part of the stage you could jump on, and Sheed was literally like walking up them, walking down them, jumping back up them, on top of the pockets, and the actual material being of that nature. His first was incredible, and Chaos had a decent first on the back end, but it was still a body bag round. So he went up against a pretty fair Chaos round, and there was like crystal clear doesn't really describe it well enough. And even going into the second, Sheed's second better than his first. I thought Chaos was about to die. I'm like, man, I had this debatable.
Hey, before you continue, I was texting Loso during this, and then he's like, bro, there's no way Kid Chaos can beat Sheed's second round. And then midway through, he said, Kid Chaos said, hold my beer, and found a way to match the level.
Yeah, special comeback round, and it shows poise. It just shows that, and he started the round, funny enough, you would think he would have to, after a round of haymakers and performance haymakers at that, you would have to start by bombing right back. He starts with an impersonation of Sheed, and it's comedic, and it doesn't necessarily land like a humongous haymaker. It's a little drawn out, but the humor in itself entertained us to where the crowd didn't just tune him out. And from there, that's when the haymakers started. I got something for all that trophy shit. Cases, which was probably the bar. 4 or 5 haymakers deep, he hit that, and I'm like, yo, he might have snuck this. He had a sign language bar where he incorporated actually doing sign language with his hands with it. Really incredible comeback second. So the second's gonna be a complete toss-up. I personally edged Chaos. Maybe that's the old 1-1 in me that wanted to see that going into the third, but it's gonna be a humongous toss-up round. Their second from each is 2 of the best rounds that either of them have ever spit in their career. And the third is definitely still decent from both, but there is more dry spots. I mean, they went from 11 out of 10 to kind of just regular battle rappers. Sheed was able to do more drug talk, more real talk, taking that approach, but inherently there's a little more dead space in between that. If you're not landing humongous substance bars at the end, some people might see it more filler, might see it as a miss. And I thought Chaos just had a solid punch heavy round in the third too, and actually took that round clear. So I had Chaos taking the third clear. I had Sheed taking the first. Clear doesn't do it, enough justice. And the second is going to be a round that the fans are going to have so much fun debating. Nice. I'm going to have fun watching over. I'm sure the rewind and find is going to be great on it. And to me, it was the battle of the night. And I can't wait to see where both these gentlemen go after this, because it's a net positive for both.
Let me ask you this. Normally at the end of the year, we do the all URL rounds, right? Where we try to pick the 5 best rounds, for 5 best first rounds, 5 best second rounds, 5 best third rounds. Now the year's not over, so things can still shake the table, but you kind of know what rounds kind of fit in that list. I just asked this much. Was Kid Chaos and Sheed's second round of the caliber of you to say these are one of the best 5? These are one of the best 5 second best rounds that I've heard this year.
Oh man, I'm trying to think, because I don't like I'd say that Swamp's second versus Rock to me is like the second of the year that I can think of, so that would go above it. But even when you look at another round I might consider so many seconds, but A Ward second versus Nitty I know is a round people love a lot, and to me either a Chaos or Sheed second could at least have a debate with that round where it's hanging. I know a lot of that will come down to competition, other things, you know, depending on how you weigh it. But in terms of quality, I mean, when you get to a mark where your round has 6 to 7 haymakers, I know that people don't break down the numbers like that enough, but it's not really that many rounds per year that end up reaching above that 5 haymaker mark. So when you're tearing the building down like that, and plus you're experiencing great performance, it's not just punching, it's well-rounded. Like literally Sheed was doing every aspect of battle rap I could have possibly asked him to do in that second. And for Chaos to come back and show poise, I can't lock it, but I could for sure say that they have a good debate to make that list.
Yeah, I love it because Kid Chaos has made our list for the last 2 years. His first round against Real Sick with the default. His first round against Chess. So like, if
this was his best round since first versus Chess. In my opinion, that's what I said immediately when it happened. Is it was of that ilk. So
I'm not sure if the year's not over, so I'm not sure if he'll make it. But I just you hearing that he had a round of that caliber makes me happy. And one of my favorite things about Sheed, I feel like I see him improve every single time I see him touch the stage. I feel like he does something and gets better at something, or at least is getting better at what he does individually. Because Ultimate Madness 4, we have to tune our ears to really like, okay, this is a new style. It's very refreshing, but new means you have to really center your focus towards it. Now I feel like people have identified and kind of know how to move and listen and rock with Sheed more than ever. You know what I mean? You feel the same, Vlad?
Absolutely, because I felt that from his previous battles, I definitely listen to him. I wasn't the biggest Sheed fan, I gotta say that, but after time, when he came out this round with versus Nunn Nunn and that whole run, I said, hold up, this dude really stepped his game like all the way up. Now, did he step it all the way up, or was I just not in tune before? Like, was I not tuned in? I'd like to think after watching battle rap for over 20 years that I'm tuned in, but no, man, she just got better, and he's continuing to maintain that level. I got to say that, so I got to respect it.
Nothing makes me happier than somebody. It's really hard to stay consistent once you find a really good level to perform at.
Yeah,
but it makes me really happy when I see somebody improving every battle, whether it's adding a new wrinkle, whether it's the delivery, whether it's the performance, the crowd control, the camera work, the potency of the punches, you know what I'm saying? Just them finding ways to say, I can make it better. Because Danny Myers always said, battle rap's the one thing, no matter how many times you do, you'll never perfect. And
I gotta ask, did either one or did they both address rehearsal gate? I have to ask. I have to.
Absolutely. Sheed actually opens his first addressing it, and nothing too crazy came out of the first. He did his oh man, damn. He kind of turned into a little bit of a comedy. But at the end of his first round, he had a bar flipping it like, let me run these rounds by you. You know what I'm saying? Did it. And what's funny enough is Chaos had a bar that was literally like, let me run these rounds by you. The same bar at the bottom of the first, but she had already swept the room with that haymaker reaction. But yeah, even Chaos had a funny one where he said, talking about it, and he said, the initials of your name are shut the fuck up. Like he was like, it was really so. There was definitely some funny takes on it. It was something that was mentioned throughout the battle. Some of the best bars of it came from it, but it also didn't dominate it where it's like, oh, this is the first battle. Is Chaos going to talk about the rehearsal thing, 4 times over? But yeah, definitely some good moments from it overall.
Okay. Because I definitely needed to find out, man, because that's the elephant in the room now. That's the monkey that's gonna be on Sheed's back for a hot second, He could thank Miss Hustle for that, you know what I mean?
I believe
Every
it was
time he
all
sees
because
her,
of a
give a
bump.
big old hug.
It was all because of the bump in battle. So it wasn't even all this material. I know the fans get caught up. Oh my God, they wrote the 3 rounds. She wrote his and he wrote his, and it's conspiracies, it's the Illuminati. They just wanted to do a bump and it wasn't disrespectful. But at the end of the day, angles are angles. We know how it goes in here. So
Oh, absolutely. Hey, but listen though, man, I do have to say, being that I'm the only one here that's over 40 years old, you know what I'm saying? If that would have happened when I was in high school or college days, Jay, you know what I'm saying? I know it's a new era, so people are accepting whatever now, you know what I mean? You could not have done that, you know what I'm saying? Now, me also stepping back, looking at it, being objective and not being all maniacal. Okay, if you're the very next battle, right? I'm talking about they're calling you on the stage because I mean, Kayshawn did it to Surf. He walked up to Surf and spit his first round at Summer Madness. You know what I'm saying? And Surf was like, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble." You know what I mean? But they literally went right on stage. So am I saying, "Oh my God, they got together, they did"? Not if you're going right on stage, but if you guys are taking time out, to which they did not. You know what I'm saying? This is where I'm saying stepping back and looking at it objectively. Now, if two people spent hours or days, you know what I'm saying, practicing each round, and this is what I'm gonna say, and this is how we're gonna stand and do this and do that, out the window immediately. Like that's crazy. Like I would never, ever, ever accept that. You know what I'm saying? But if you're literally going right on stage like the next minute and you spit some bars and then go right on stage, listen, I'm not going
How much does it
crazy
help?
about it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm not tripping too much. I'm not going crazy. But what I will say is that you start letting that happen, and then the door is wide open for everybody to just say, you know what? We don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there has to be a hard line of like, yo, we can't accept none of this. Because if we open that door up, then it's Pandora's box and all hell breaks loose. So we got to keep, we know people going to do what they going to do, but just don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't give us nothing to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I 100% agree with all your sentiments. Definitely not pro rehearsal by any means. But it is funny because we know we're going to end up hearing for Sheed's next however many battles. We're going to hear 90 renditions of the angle. And I feel like it's almost like a false trap because, yes, it is something that seems mad angleable. But with the way Sheed's rapping, there's going to be people trying to break the angle down. And he's going to punch a couple people's heads off thinking that they have this crazy new approach they haven't heard. So definitely not the pro rehearsal, any of that. But as far as I know, that performance at Traffic wasn't rehearsed, and that was an elite performance. That was a performance that shows me that one day this is a multi-gnome, multi-SM. That potential is there to be a top tier one day. So I'm excited to see where both of them go after that. Well, we know where Chaos is going, but excited to see where both of them go, especially going into next year.
Man, why do I see a Sheed and DNA battle brewing somewhere down the line? I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Sheed and DNA, man. In my era, we would have never. All right. So now we got the last two battles of the night. Talk to me, player.
Well, first up of the main two, the co-main event, in my opinion, even though it started out low on the flyer, but I told people, don't get too caught up in that. But it was Chess versus Saynt. Obviously, this battle's been brewing. I remember when Saynt battled Geechee, and they're like, that's like king of the dot Chess. How would it go if he came over here in this? And going into this battle, just because of how Chess has been this year, I was a little, so I actually had Saynt 2-1 clear going in, and Saynt's first round was great. I mean, really great. A little bit of a slow burn at first, but then he started, it just was like a written uphill first, where it was like every bar was better than the last, to the point that it was like, yo, this is like a 6-minute round, plenty of haymakers. The one thing about Saynt is obviously he just raps his one way. There's no flow change. There's not a lot of variety. So it puts a lot of pressure on your material, because if you're just a bass puncher, all right, we're grading you straight off material. And if you don't have that, you're not going over here. So it puts a lot of pressure on your pen. But in the first round, he definitely met the expectations. But similar to Chess, funny enough, he's got editing issues. It definitely feels like he raps everything he writes down. I feel like sometimes you can tell with battlers that the OBC's in there with the haymakers, and the jabs are in there with this and this with this. And got to the point that he was so amped up. I'm calling it a heavy stumble, but man, it was a borderline choke. And it was like 7-8 minutes into the first. And I'm literally there. I'm like, brother, call time. I'm like, this is your first at this point. Like, it's not, he got it back in within 4 to 6 seconds. So I'll leave it up to the people. I'm a big guy in the 10-second rule with the way battle raps moved. I know that's obviously
10 seconds.
Yeah, for a full official choke.
Hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000, 10 1,000.
It's a long ass time when you say it like that, Vlad.
I can't sit through that, man. I want to just say disclaimer: the unified judging criteria that I use today at Chrome 23 says 7 seconds is a choke. And even 7 seconds feels way too long. Okay.
Right. You know what? 10 seconds of silence
is a long
is
time.
Well, that's the thing.
deadly,
It's
man.
not just 10 seconds. The thing is that it was a slip up, but it's caught between the crowd reaction. We all know when a guy stumbles at first, sometimes the crowd pops. They need a second to get the crowd down. So it's a rough 10 seconds because it's not like we just sat there purely in silence for 10 seconds while Saynt was getting it back. So that's why I said it's in the 4 to 6 second region. You know, I won't push any of my beliefs or how I rank it on other people, but well, it's definitely, that's why I say if it's on the borderline where if someone called it a choke, there's a good argument for it. But Chess
did he look like he was choking? Did he look like? Did he sell it like a choke? Did he sell it like yo chill?
No,
chill,
he was quickly repeating his bar over and over. Like
okay.
I did like you could clearly tell he just lost because he got it back, and for whatever reason he still ran 24 more bars. The man he wanted to get all the material out.
Gosh, yeah.
But yeah, Chess has a first round, and I'm gonna say this. All right, Chess's first is great. Like Chess's first, to me, this is the best Chess performance of 2022, hands down, which has been a rougher year, but especially in his first 2 rounds.
It's not saying much, but go ahead.
Yeah, but this was a very, very good Chess. But Chess, 2 things can be true. Chess's performance was really, really good, but there were some people in that crowd not behaving like family men. There was particularly a gentleman that even the other Chess fans who were cheering heavily for Chess were looking at dude like, yo. Like it was like, I mean, screaming high pitch for setups. Like even Chess is looking like what's going on over there? Like so I will say I had Chess taking the first by a comfortable edge. So I think
in the building.
In the building. I had it. I don't want to use the word clear. I did feel like there was a little separation, but I want to watch it for myself on cam because it really does get hard to pay attention when you have someone screaming in your ear behind you between every setup.
Let me just
was there choppiness in Chess's first round, Jay?
Not really in the first. In the battle, there was some choppiness, but not particularly in the first round.
I'm gonna let you go to the second round, but I'm gonna just say this: I've seen Chess on small URL markets. That when they travel.
I got it, yo, Jay.
And the crowd. Go ahead, Vlad.
Jay,
say it.
I saw Chess perform in Tampa, right? It was a smaller venue, probably similar situation. You know what I'm saying? Jay, when I tell you this guy has fanatics, I mean, these dudes were turning into cuckolds. They were ready to give their girlfriends away to this dude. Like, it was weird. It was the level of fandom was bananas. Like, I could not believe what I was seeing. Like, when Chess goes to these little markets and stuff, the people lose it. So I totally relate to exactly what you're saying, because there was like 2 or 3 of those guys. It might be the same guys. They might follow him around like the Grateful Dead for all I know. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, but here's the thing. I don't want to take points from Chess because somebody in the crowd wants to be a star.
Right.
And I think that's the hard part, is that a lot of times on footage to the mass consensus, they'll get mad about how the crowd's reacting, and in turn, they're going to dock a battler. I feel like they kind of did that with Rock vs. Swamp, just to give a reference for people, where it's like they're blaming Swamp because something happened over here. I try to just Chess's material just as Chess's material, and the crowd reaction as a separate thing, because I think he was getting a lot of warranted love, but some bars, like there was an Infinity bar, which I think has been posted, where he said, I'll give his 8 to the side of his Infinity. And listen, that was a good bar. I've heard an 8 to the Infinity. I've heard, and people are like, oh, but never in that way. I've definitely heard people say 8 to the side of the car Infinity, 100%.
But did you see Chess's reaction to his own bar though?
Yeah, but the people, the guy behind me, I thought he was going to pass out. I'm like, I got worried for him. It was so I thought he had a great first. I edged him the first. He won the second clear as hell. There's no debate about the second. Probably Saynt's worst round of the battle. Not a bad round, but the choppiness hurt him. Whoever the sound guy was apparently just left the venue for a couple minutes. I know JB talked about it. It was definitely poor because there was a hella feedback on Saynt's mic through the second, and he had to fight through a mic issue that was just very debilitating. 6 versus Shine this year, if anyone can remember. Yeah. Material was kind of good, but the mic just killed any momentum he could build up. And Chess had a very good second on top of that. So I kind of had it, Chess 2-0 going into that third, and I got worried that, is Saynt going to start off hot? maybe lose his best round that he probably thought going in and go downhill from there. But happily enough, Saynt had a very good third, return of form to his first round. And due to Chess pretty much stumbling and fumbling through his entire third, he barely got it out coherently. It wasn't any full chokes, but the heavy stumbles that happened to Saynt, he had like 4 of those that just kept breaking down the momentum, while Saynt had a great round. So Saynt actually took the third clear. I don't know if it's going to be debatable. I really want to see, like I said, for myself, how it's going to play out on cam. But what I can say is that I had, even though I had Chess 2-1, I didn't think there would be a world where Chess won and it would still be a net positive type of result for Saynt. I thought he would get showed up on, and I can't say it went that way. Even though I had Chess 2-1, both of them had an incredible, a great battle. Was as good as Chaos and Sheed. It wasn't quite there, but it was a click or two behind. It was still extremely good. It's what we wanted from this battle. In terms of competitiveness. And even though I thought levels were being shown for a second, having that third at the end to, get that round clear just goes to show that Saynt should still be facing top comp from here. I think Saynt is still ready for good plates. I don't think he has to go back, or there's definitely things he has to tweak at his style, not get so amped up. There has to be some variance because he's not going to be able to write to that level every night. And people are going to find that cadence very redundant. He's going to lose battles if he doesn't mix it up a little bit. But as for now, debut, I thought he gave a great debut. I thought Chess had the bounce back type of performance that he needed in a 3-rounder. Like I said, his best performance of this year. And overall, both of them were, 2 of my top 5 performers of the night. So definitely one of the better battles on the card.
So the narrative has been dispelled. My man Saynt can hang in the NBA.
Absolutely. Even like I said, I'm someone that didn't have him winning that battle, but you could just see from that performance, if he's able to replicate that, there's nights where that performance is beating some of the top tier battlers that we revere in battle rap. I could just, and I know you can't like pick it up and replicate it, but if he could do that against Chess with the crowd, the mic, a couple things that mentally would probably knock a younger cat off in his first time on stage. I think that he has top tier potential on this league. So I can't wait to see where he goes from here. And shout out to Chess. I've been hard on him this year. There's still certain critiques and things, consistency for years, top tier. There's a lot of question marks, but as of that night, I can't sit here and, slander him. And his first 2 rounds were great material and great performance.
All right. I can't wait to see the game tapes on this one. Because we've been waiting for this for a while. So Jay, us, man. It's like watching the NBA. It's like, all right, dude stepped on the court. This is it. Now we get to watch the game, and then the next battle Saynt gets. Everyone's gonna get to see the game tapes and be able to break it down and attack his style and this and that. So, this is something, a debut that we've been wanting to see for a long time. To hear that there are rounds in here that do live up to the expectation makes it one that, the people are going to be waiting. They're going to be clamoring, and they're going to be hitting you up when that battle drops. Oh, I'm saying 1, 2, 1. Get this guy out of here. Be prepared for all that. Be prepared for all of that, brother.
Even if it's a small group, I can very much so foresee that there will at least be a 20 to 25% chunk of the voting poll that is going to swing, and they're going to get mad at Chess for the crowd, which isn't fair, but that's how battle rap, that's the pattern that people sometimes do with crowds. And since Saynt had a good first, I could see people trying to like close that gap and saying Saynt 1 and 3. I still think Chess showed that little bit. It's like clear but close in my opinion. But like I said, I can't wait to see it on camera too, because without the crowd, who knows? Maybe I'll see something I thought I didn't see in the build.
Plus, how battle rap goes. You stumble in your third, or you choke, or this or that. People go back to that first or that second and go.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that one's going to be an interesting one. Yeah. Now, time for the main event, man.
They're not going to
the one we've all been waiting for. What'd you say?
I said they're not going to like me for this one. I got a little bit of pushback for this one.
Oh, let's hear this.
Bill Collector versus Rum Nitty, bar fest on paper, and we knew that we were walking into a battle that was going to be very, very bar heavy, especially with the transition Bill's made. From someone that went from almost like a comedy type of battler. I mean, there's a reason that there was a point that URL matched him and Dot. They thought that Bill was kind of that comedy archetype. So for him to turn around and almost have this daylight-like style, I'm not saying that he has inspiration from it, but where it's very fluid cadences and it's wordplay that wraps into wordplay that immediately wraps into other wordplay. It's not even the setups. The setup is wordplay, scheming, just what he's done. I thought was a great matchup for this battle. And right from the start of the first round, Nitty actually ends up going first. And Nitty's first round was incredible. I mean, and I know that it is Rum Nitty and he's predicting the polls. He was at a home game, but his first round, I mean, material wise is a 10 out of 10. I mean, truly, you just knew when you were watching it, like, man, this is going to be a hard one to fight back from. Bill's first comes right back. I really love Bill's first round. I thought he handled it well, kind of slowly paced into it, showed his little funnier side, which is obviously the advantageous compared to Nitty in the matchup. And even, started really getting into his punching bag in the first. In a weird way, I thought Bill's first played out where his first was punch heavy. His second, although he had everything in all three, but his first I thought was a little punch heavy. His second, the rhyme patterns, maybe trying to show that difference in rapping. And his third, more of the comedy entertainer bag. But his first I loved. He had a bar, gun butt, whip the alien. It's a transformer. To me, really hangs up there with any of the best bars of the battle and possibly a bar of the night contender. But even with a great Bill in the first, a lot of people, including myself, just looked around and were like, it's just not enough. I mean, Nitty was rapping 5 to 6 rounds of material that I would say rivals his A-Ward material. He was in rare form, once again. And then going into the second round, it's very similar where it was just his second was better than his first and probably the round of the night. I mean, they stopped the guy every single bar, but from the quotes, I could spill the quotes here, but so many remember, they're definitely on the timeline that you could just see the smack. I just re-downloaded the URL app. Now I got a smack Bill. With incredible. He had a deviled egg bar that was absolutely ridiculous. It was just, you knew it was like, oh, Nitty's in one of those chain haymaker modes. And once again, Bill had a good second, but I think Bill even said himself that he lost the second clear, probably the clearest round of the battle. So even though this is a 8.5 to 9 out of 10 Bill collector, this is the Bill collector we want. And there was still 2 clear rounds of separation going into the third to give you a reference of just, how great Nitty was doing. And the third is definitely more of a step down. I think the closest of the 3 rounds in the battle. Nitty still had a good round, but when you put so much emphasis on your writing, even if there's a little bit of fall off, especially after a long event, people are like, Building's got him up 2-0, maybe the third. So Nitty had a good third, and I thought Bill had a good third. I liked his comedy. He had us dying laughing for a few different bars. He said, why are y'all worried about a punch God when I showed I could take a punch, referring to the show off situation. And it's kind of funny because it's like, I don't know if you can really get away with a bar about getting punched on, but Bill is Bill. He's got the comedy to swing anything that way. And I'd say the third is probably the closest round of the battle. I know I had originally said the first, but thinking back on it, just because Nitty took a step down, I thought Bill showed a little more well-roundedness. There may be an argument for Bill getting the third, but for me personally, I edged Nitty the third, and I actually had Rum Nitty with a gentleman's 30 and performance of the night. But there is no slight to Bill Collector. I thought that he was incredible. This Bill, like I said about a few other performances, the JC matchups he's talked about, the Sheeds, even his name linked to Rock, this is a performance that can hang with them. I mean, could hang with many top tiers on any given night. Like I said, he had a great performance, but Rum Nitty had a tremendous performance, rivaling, like I said, his A-Ward material. And it's going to be a great battle on cam. I think both of them are going to get tons and tons of praise for this, but I did have a clear winner with Rum Nitty winning.
Wow. Okay. I definitely got to see this one because in my prediction, in my mind, I'm like, both of these guys are crazy, off the charts, like ridiculous. I just had it that I would be as entertained by Bill's skill set and Nitty's skill set equally. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just both so off the charts crazy. So
2 of the best active alive right now.
So to me, to hear that just means that I'm going to really enjoy this battle, and I'm going to really have to watch it a couple of times to break it down because, Bill is just as Nitty is sneaky, Bill is super sneaky too. And like, he gets so quick with his bars and in the pockets that he goes into. Sometimes, like, I remember when I saw Bill and A-Ward live, and that one was like ridiculous to me.
You know what I'm saying? Recently. That's an incredible
ridiculous battle. And it's like, I didn't catch everything the first go round. You know what I'm saying? That was one of those battles where I was like, whoever I got on a Monday, I might have Ward. On a Tuesday, I might have, Bill. You know what I'm saying? So this one sounds like it lived up to the hype. Nitty brought it home for the Arizona crowd. He made them, you know what I'm saying, appreciate the fact that URL came out there and put on a show for them. And, him being the main guy, the headliner, the closer, man. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear that when it's all on you and they come to your hometown, can you carry it? Can you make people want to come back out? Can you make this a new destination to come to every year? You know what I'm saying? Like,
And I would say the one difference that I would say, and why I probably feel like it's clear, because in the first, they're actually both really battling at the same level in a sense. But it really felt like, and maybe I could be wrong, I'd have to chop up the numbers, see on footage, but Nitty was having like 4 to 5 minute rounds, which really isn't that common for him. I think in some of Rum Nitty's losses, actually, he's usually rapping 2 or 15 flat. And even in just most of his body of work, he's pretty good about just like being his 3-3-15. Crowd reaction may be mixed in, but he's going to give you your standard round. And in this battle, I do think he had a jam packed. So now you're going bar for bar with Nitty in the first per se, right? Which is already hard. I mean, to go in a punch fest with Nitty, and then he's got the leg up with a minute or 90 seconds of material on you, it in the middle of a home game for him. I mean, it's really damn near an impossible situation. That's how I felt about it. So it's one of those things where even though I called it a gentleman's 30, both of them were 2 of the best performers of the night. And just like I said, between Chess Saynt, Sheed and Chaos, and you can even throw in Yoshi and RX. You get a lot of battles here that will have tons of different perspectives, great debates, and overall, it leads to a great quality event overall.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, Jay, you got a little bit of pushback also. Bill Collector hit you up. You got your first, you got a little taste. You got a little taste.
He wasn't. Hey, as a guy, I think Bill is very passionate about his craft. That's something I've always respected for him. And I think the thing is, first of all, battlers deal with a lot of guys on Twitter. Me, myself, I try my hard to be the most respectful, know everybody's body of work, come correct. But for every one of me, there's 15 counts with random pictures of whatever that are like, Bill could just, I saw he had a tweet that was like, I just went to war with Rum Nitty, and people were like, nah, man, we heard you guys smoke. And it's just like nothing, not just like, yo, it's dope, you had a great performance, just right to, you got cleared, you got smoked. So I can understand why his guard has to be up a little bit, but it's all love at the end of the day. It's a battler. It's extremely passionate about his craft. Me as media, I'm extremely passionate about my reporting of it. But yeah, I felt like going by the building, I definitely didn't say anything too outlandish. I mean, I know that, but besides a little of his comments of his wording of it, this is battle rap. This is nothing new, especially between media and battlers. And even with this performance, I'm still looking really forward, like I said, to Bill versus Top Tiers this year and how he's going to close the rest of this year.
Right. And for the fans listening, Bill's grievance was the disparity in quotes from apparently he felt like there were a lot of Nitty quotes, and his quotes just weren't as many as Nitty's quotes and stuff. And I guess, to be fair, to look at it from a battler's perspective, I can see how they can feel like, well, and I'm not saying how many quotes you put out, so this is not to say your number of quotes, but let's say in total, right, from everyone in the building, if there's whatever 300 Nitty quotes and 100 Bill quotes, if everyone's looking on the timeline, they're going, oh my god, like, Nitty is smoking this dude, you know what I'm saying? But it's like with 2 rappers like this, man, it's hard to grab like bars from everybody, and especially at the end of the night, your phone's dying and you're probably like in the midst of trying to enjoy the battle for real.
I was at 7% by the time the battle started, man. I was scared to death I wouldn't get the quoted, but also something I explained to Bill.
Sometimes France and I, man, we just don't even tweet during like certain battles. We're just like, yo, I'm putting the phone down. I'm purely in spectator mode. I'll be back with y'all when this one is over. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it gets like that when you're just like, I don't want to miss this.
The new cheat code really is to just, shout out to Uncle Ra, he's unlocked this. He just gets clips of like each person's round. He'll get a clip of this person's round, a clip of this person's round, and spotlight them both. Because like some guys are very easy to quote, like people like Bill, like Sheed, like Daylight. They're not easy, Kid Chaos. They're not easy to quote live in effect. And anything you butcher, like we'll just throw it all away, and it'll actually make them look worse. That's what I tell those guys, right? Like, yo, you didn't quote much from me. I'm like, you don't realize, dude, it's not easy. How
difficult it is.
It's not easy to catch you in real time, and if I butcher your bar, it's actually worse for you. And then there's people that like to do I'm gonna just tweet about momentum. I'm gonna just tweet about the momentum, how the battle's feeling, and it's just like, that's a cop out too, because like you get real hyperbolic with those battles sometimes as well.
It's hard to quote, and that's the thing. I try to, I was able to explain to Bill. I think we were able to find some common ground that the disparity isn't, Nitty's got 2 to 3 bar structures where if I have to quote it, usually I can take like one middle line from the setup. He just starts by the end of 2 or 4 he punches. And for Bill, it's like I don't want to just quote your ending punch, because when you have a 16 and 24 bar buildup, I want to give that proper respects, and it won't do you justice to quote the last bar. But I got so many characters, bro, I can't quote 16 to 24 bars. So I think that the replay is going to do a lot more to Bill. I think some people may be down just hearing about it, like, oh, everyone just got Nitty 30. No, that was a great Bill collector. And even if they don't have the same amount of quotes, it's just because Bill's rapping ability, as you said, I can't echo enough, just makes it hard to quote. But all these battles are going to have great rewind and find too, because there's so many pen heavy battlers on here. But what you're noticing is I think the pens in 2022, everyone still has now some base level of performance. So it just created for great energy. The fact that we were there 12 hours after a 3.5 hour delay, and we lost our mind for Bill and Rum Nitty's rounds, that can tell you that the material was there to make the fans, even tired fans, feel like it was the first battle of the night.
And that's what main event headlining cats do, man. And I gotta say, your response to Bill, very professional, very on point. You know what I'm saying, man? Good job, kid. You know what I mean? Because when you do stuff, when you respond to people professionally and just let them know, like, hey, man, I'm here to try to do my best. And, like sometimes it doesn't do you justice. And I'll rock with you, man. You were great. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how could you be mad at a response like that? You know what I'm saying? So good job with that one, man. Fantastic reporting, bro. Like the article is amazing. If anyone wants to go and read it, go to letstalkbattlerap.com and check out JSmo's review on this. And Jay, before we go, man, please let the people know where they can follow you, where they can watch you, where they can listen to you at, man. The floor is yours, my dude.
Appreciate it. JSmo reviews on Twitter or YouTube. It's pretty simple. It's 2 platforms I'm working off of right now. Maybe caffeine in the future. We'll see about that as I get more into the game and just understand, where I belong, where my skill set, or where people, could get the most from me. I mean, at the end of the day, I look at myself as a service of the fans. I want to be able to give you guys analytical, super in-depth stuff, and it's not going to be for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I try to do some stuff that's easily digestible, but I do history content. I do content bar for bar reviews on current battles. I do flashback reviews, go over some of the most debatable battles that we can know of. Series called Golden Years, where I go over the best years, like the MVP years. I've done B Magic's 2013, Brizz's 2017, and overall, no matter what you like in battle rap, I promise you guys, there's something there for everybody to enjoy. But it's just JSmo reviews, same on Twitter as it is on YouTube. And also I'm a part of the Champion Gold Executive Suite. Shout out to Black. We're going about almost every week. It's not for sure. Sometimes it's bi-weekly, but great content in there. And there's also my other great executives in there that produce their own great content. And we're just trying to have a movement that brings that analytical side to battle rap. The people that are like, oh, I can't quote bars, or I don't always remember everything. It's okay. We got you. I got you for that if you need those details. So like I said, JSmo reviews on YouTube and Twitter, and I just can't wait to bring more content out for everybody as time goes on.
Man, JSmo, thank you, brother, for your time, man. Thank you for your service this weekend. And like I said, man, I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more and more from you. This will not be the last time you hear JSmo on this podcast, people. So, Jay, man, have a great night. Thank you for hanging out with us on this late night on a Sunday. You know what I mean? And enjoy the rest of your evening, player. We'll see you next time.
Of course, all loving the game, man. You all have a great night. Thank you for having me up.
Peace.
All right, man. Salute to JSmo, man. He did that. He did that this weekend, man.
Absolutely. Yes,
Wow.
sir.
Yeah, man. Jam-packed weekend. You know what I'm saying? We had it was a battle rap festivity, battle rap palooza this weekend. You feel me, man? Traffic, RBA Closure 2, you know what I'm saying? Bags and Bodies premiere, Chrome 23.
Yo,
Man,
you are a jet setter, friends. Flying
me?
around flying around this country, going everywhere, bouncing around for this battle rap thing. This weekend, you went down to the ATL, man. I got to know how everything went, friends, from the airport to the flight to the hotel, all that stuff. Give the people behind the scenes, you know what I mean? What they come to expect from you, player.
Yeah, man. Let's talk some let's talk some ATL. You know what I'm saying? And then we could talk some Chrome too, because man, I was in and out that mug. You know what I'm saying? I flew in early in the morning. I got there early afternoon. Got to my telly. And I wanted to watch Closure 2 via pay-per-view because, you know, like you see the flyer says live pay-per-view, check ARP's pin tweet, it says purchase the pay-per-view.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. It said live pay-per-view?
The flyer says live pay-per-view.
Okay.
ARP's pin tweet says purchase the pay-per-view.
Not the VOD.
It says pay-per-view, bro.
The PPV.
PPV.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it said the PPV and not the VOD.
Oh, best believe. Let me tell you.
I know you keep receipts, so I trust that this is exactly what it said. I know you keep receipts.
I almost triple checked just to make sure I wasn't going crazy, because I copped the joint. I'm on Rapgram. I'm like, what's going on here? I go to the RB flyer at the bottom, says November 19th live pay-per-view, rarebreedent.com, and ARP's pin tweet says, pull up or get your live pay-per-view at rarebreedent.com. So I'm thinking, all right, you know, the venue of where the battles are being taken place at, they're in Hitman Holla. It's the studio where Bags and Bodies was shot at, so I don't want to say Hitman Holla studio, but cool enough on Uber, when you put the address, it says Hitman Holla on Uber.
Really?
That was crazy.
That's wild. Okay.
All right. I was like,
a little creepy. All right. I was like, Black Mirror.
I was like, okay, Uber. You know what I'm saying? So that's where some of the battles from Bags and Bodies were shot. So they're battling there. I'm familiar with that studio. It's a dope spot, but it's a bit of in the outskirts. So it's a solid like 40 minutes away without traffic. You know what I'm saying? Like 37 minutes away without traffic. And where I was at, I always make sure to stay right by the airport because, you know, my dumbass. I do some fucking funky and
oversleeping and
you know. And plus, hold on, let me just get this vent out, right? You know, I don't understand battle rap.
Here we go. Let's go. This is what I've been waiting for. Let's go, man.
Look, I understand that ATL is a market now for battle rap. It has been for the last damn near 4 years. But golly, man, I hate that airport, man. I hate the Harper Jackson Airport, man. That damn air train always making somebody late, man. You know what I'm saying? And just your luck, you always get Terminal E, which is the last stop on the air train, and then you be like, I got gate 5, but it goes backwards, and you start at gate number like 17, and you got to go all the way down to 5. It's never easy. It took me an hour and 5 minutes to get through freaking TSA, man.
What? You mean to get out?
I'm sorry, to get to my gate to come back to New York when I was leaving ATL,
yeah.
It took me an hour and 5 minutes. I timed it. Okay.
Damn.
Yes, damn is right.
Are you coming back with all them BBL honeys and all that, taking up all that time?
Come on, man. Like, luckily for me, my dumbass, I was gonna hit the Waffle House and then go to my flight, but the Waffle House was closed. I'm like, you know what?
Why would you want to get into a fight before you go to?
I was like, you know, Waffle House is tired of the shenanigans. I'm not even mad that they're closed. Let me just go to the airport. Fuck Waffle House. So then I saved about 30, 40 minutes there, and thank God I did, because golly, even leaving the damn airport, like, you got to get out and take the air train. It's a solid like 30-minute process. I hate it. I just want to get that out there.
Let it out, man. Let it out, player. You got it all. Is the vent all done? You vented it?
There's still more to go. So when I get to the hotel, it was 6 minutes from my airport. So like once I got out, I literally was at the hotel like under 10 minutes, checked in, and I opened my laptop ready to watch the pay-per-view. And then I found out I switched to VOD because by the time I touched down, like I said, I'm a solid 40, 50 minutes out from the spot. So I was gonna almost an hour to get there. I was gonna miss on the way there. Then I would have to come back to get ready for the night because I got this cardigan, I got these shoes, I got this black pants for the Bags and Body premiere. You know what I'm saying? Feel me?
A little spiffy, man.
I clean up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with the gut. Yeah, man.
Clean up a little bit. So I'm like, damn, 50 minutes to go. Watch a few battles, 40, 50 minutes to come back, get ready to another. And the spot was like 30 minutes out downtown. So I'm like, let me just stay in the hotel where I can ease from all the damn travel, watch and live tweet the battles,
Right.
get dressed and go everything on time. But it was VOD, it wasn't pay-per-view. And I'm just like, damn, did the main
Hold on,
event
hold on.
get-
Was there any reasons given? Was there any heads up that they were changing from live stream to VOD? Was there any heads up that people would know?
I did see a tweet from ARP about like maybe 12 or 1 o'clock right before the event started that said get VOD will be available the next day. And I'm just thinking, okay, well, he's just saying that because you're purchasing the pay-per-view, the VOD's available the next day.
Right. Yeah.
But then it hit me like, wait, hold on, is this event not being streamed anymore? And everywhere, like all the marketing for this says live pay-per-view. So I'm just like,
Right.
I couldn't help but wonder, like, is it because we lost the main event that this is not pay-per-viewed anymore, or did something happen that prevented this from being pay-per-viewed? Like, I don't know. It remains to be unseen.
I mean, unfortunately, France, we won't know because we were never given any reasons as to why things would change. You know what I'm saying? And for me personally, as invested as we are into battle rap, and if you purchase the pay-per-view and you have your Saturday lined up, you're getting your food, you might be calling your homies, or you might have even took time off from work. You might have switched off with somebody else just so you can watch this event. And then you log on at 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock, and you keep refreshing and you see that this is not a live event anymore. You got to wait 24 to 48 hours to watch the battles. It would be nice just to get a heads up and say, hey, this is not going to be live and these are the reasons why. Like, not to do it is unprofessional to me and a little uncouth, man.
I'll be honest. This pod, unfortunately, was not going to have much closure to talk because obviously me being in and out of Bags and Bodies, back to New York, taking a nap, going to Chrome, which is in Queens. I'm in Jersey. Like I've gotten a chance to probably watch a battle like on my phone, but I didn't get a chance to buckle down the way I had already planned for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I missed the window of really getting a chance to give my focus to that event. But we got content coming up for this Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Titus and Q, staff writer at LTBR, is gonna hold it down. So Wednesday, be on the lookout for RB Closure 2 content. But Vlad, we lost the main event for that battle, man.
A Ward versus Big K did not happen due to A Ward getting an upper respiratory infection and him not wanting to spread it to people at the event. He said he felt horrible, felt like he got hit by a truck. And France, I'm like, okay, A Ward's sick. All right, at least it's not COVID for the 9th time. You know what I mean? And I couldn't help but think and remember, saw A Ward in a football stadium in Tennessee with 100,000 people in there. No one has a mask on. Everyone's drinking beer, killing their immune system, hugging each other, jumping up and down, high-fiving, acting a fool. And then he goes home and not even 24, 48 hours later, oh, I'm at the hospital. The doctor just gave me, I can't do it. Oh, my immune game crazy. I can't do it. And I'm just like, hey, Ward, man, I've been telling you for a while, brother. You needs to relax and stay your ass at home every once in a while, all right? You have had COVID 8 times, okay? The chances for you of getting it are pretty high. I don't see you running around here with a mask. I don't see you trying to protect yourself and not get this thing. And guess what, Ward? Everyone was waiting to see you versus Big K. All right.
Yeah. I just want to point that. Look,
everyone was waiting for that battle.
Look, at the end of the day, this isn't a blame A Ward thing, right? He got sick. He can't.
I'm
can't
blaming
control.
A Ward. I'm kidding. I'm joking a little bit.
Yeah. Like, in all seriousness,
really.
well wishes to him. I hope he does get better.
No, absolutely.
But the spotlight was on him, man. Not just him, but that battle. Like his first.
No. You got it right. It was on him. It was on him. It was on A Ward.
Okay. His first RB headliner. It was going to be the only event from this Battle Rap Palooza weekend that was going to be streamed. Like they were ready to be like the first front page story of everything. And now
this was a champion cover worthy battle.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't get a chance to go down, and then it gave the green light for Averb and Big K to join forces on the Twitter Spaces and just unleash. And ironic enough, both those guys had the LTBR page blocked, and all of a sudden they unblocked it once we started posting the quotes from the space. Coincidence? I think not, but
oh my goodness, it is ridiculous, man. Yeah, so many ways to think about this, man.
I want to say you mentioning that he went to that arena, that football game, right?
He sure did, yeah. Tennessee Volunteers.
If you remember when I caught COVID in February this year, when URL flew me out to do their first annual, that's not a right term, but their first annual award show for 2021. They did it on Caffeine. They wanted me to be a host alongside Emerson Kennedy and Jay Black.
Right.
When they do the COVID test at the Caffeine Center in LA, before you go in, if you're negative, you get denied. And when you're positive, you get denied. And when I tested positive for COVID in February, they were able to kind of like trace it a bit to the point where it's like, you caught this 48 hours ago. Well, do you remember what's going on 48 hours ago? Do you know where I was at 48 hours before that event? At a Knicks game, a Knicks and Grizzlies game. I wanted to see John Moran for the first time live, and I went and had a grand time. But
did you have a mask on?
I did have a mask. But
the whole time.
Not the whole time. I came in with it, and at one point I took it off, just watched the game.
Hey, I don't think I'm gonna get COVID now. I'm sitting down.
I mean, look, I say this much: even if you had it on, for whatever might have happened, like that's where I got it. So, like those sporting events, you can definitely get it there very easily. I thought it was funny when vaccine era of New York City was like, you vaxxed or nah? You know what I'm saying? When that was going on, and the non-vaccinated people had like this section in the arena that was like super spread out, and they shamed people like, oh look, this is where the non-vax sit. I'm like, I would rather not be close to all you degenerates. Like, give me some fucking elbow room. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, like, I got sick at the sporting event. I'm not saying he did, but it's very possible that's where he could have gotten more sick. And I guess just sometimes you got to be a little bit more aware, just careful, conscious with certain things when you have obligations, especially when things are centered around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't an undercard. It's a little different when you're the undercard and the battle's lost, but when you lose a main event battle, it hurts. It hurts on all facets.
Absolutely. And now we can play these games where we ask ourselves, what is the right thing to do? What should he have done? Right now, you think about some of the performances of people in the past. You see people. I mean, look at Loso. Man showed up with a torn ACL, still performed. You know what I'm saying? Other people showed up.
But it's just gonna get weird because we also have, not to fast forward too fast to Chrome, but we also had somebody that couldn't make a battle there as well. So it's all like real, like situational based. Loso, who's on crutches, made his battle. A-Ward, who had respiratory issues, it said he could not be at 100 for his battle, didn't battle. It just all depends, really. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at people getting sick. More importantly, A-Ward has an amazing track record of not ever having this happen to him, but it's just, then it gives when A-Verb and Big K are just lighting you up, like, what can you do? You just gotta let it happen and rebook the match. And
should he have gotten his ass on that plane, put a mask on, took his medicine, showed up looking sick like a dog? And if he couldn't do it at that point, you know what I'm saying? At least they could say, yo, he showed up, tried to give it an effort, physically could not, and didn't do it. Because we like to compare these people, to other sports guys and warriors and things of that nature. And we've seen people do it. It's not like we haven't seen people do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how sick A-Ward was. I haven't spoken to him personally. I haven't seen him, you know what I'm saying? But the way these guys were lighting him up, you could tell that it was getting under his skin. You know what I'm saying? Like they were relentless about it. And Verb going, you know how many times I battled sick and this and that. Like,
I mean, look, every battle rapper after that had like a whole tweet. Like, Hollow's like, I battled with my jaw wired. Geechee's like, I battled sick before too. This person's like, I battled sick too. And then I'm just kind of like, maybe there might be some times where you shouldn't have to do the battle when you're in this kind of condition. You know what I'm
Yo, but when
saying?
you're the headliner, it's a little different. Yo,
But
when the
that's the thing.
revenue is on your
Yeah,
back,
yeah, when you're
when
the
you are making the money for that event,
yeah.
it gets a little
That that
different.
that's the only thing I will say. When you're the main event, like it's definitely a much harder obligation at that point to be like, damn, let me find a way to pull through. You know what I'm saying? Because
Or at least show up.
this car was built. Being a main event it means the card is built around you.
Right.
So this car, when the card is built around you like that, it's just like, damn. You know, at the end
And
of the
it's
day,
the
again,
week of. You know what I'm saying? That's what's so crazy about it. You know what I mean?
but to shoot A Ward some bail, I'm still raising my eyebrow as to why the event's not pay-per-view. It's like, wait, what about 40 bars and ill will? You guys are marketing the return of Jag. You know what I'm saying? What about all these other battles that like you're saying has very
Oh
high
yeah,
level
no,
significant?
listen, one has nothing to do with the other. The
Right.
event should have still been live streamed because I wanted to watch it
Yeah.
Saturday. You know what I'm saying? I did not want to wait until Sunday to watch these things because I like watching live battle rap. It is not the same to me watching a VOD. I do not get the same enjoyment out of it. And
I
on
mean,
top of that,
but more importantly, we already
you know
had
what I'm
it.
saying?
We're in our minds up until Saturday afternoon. We thought it was live, so
That's what I'm saying.
the reservation for a live experience and that event was created already, and rightfully so because there's 3-4 other things going on this weekend. And by the way,
Right.
that's just major cards because Twerk battled Luke Castro on Showtime, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Official had a battle this past weekend too. I didn't get a chance to hear
Yeah,
about it.
Suge battle. Yeah.
Bankhead battle Sharon. Like a lot
There's a
happened.
lot going on.
A lot is going on. And if you don't want to get lost in the cycle, do something to stand out. And what better way to stand out on a weekend filled with events than you're the only one that's being streamed? I don't know.
Hey, and not just that,
yeah.
it's the fact that people paid for a service, did not receive the service, and no one said anything. It's like our feelings are disregarded. It's like it didn't matter. And I know, RB Adam is always big on respect and honor. And, for the most part, he seems like a stand-up dude. I don't know him personally, but from, he seems like he's respectful. He always got receipts. I tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not afraid to talk to the audience and tell them like what's going on or why something happened or didn't happen. He's gonna let you know what's going on from his point of view. But there was just nothing said about it, which was just a little weird to me.
Yeah, I'll put a ribbon on this because then we could go to bags and bodies. Again, well wishes to A Ward. I hope he does get better. You'll see online, everybody was supporting him. A lot of the fans and the coaches, like, when have you ever seen A Ward get sick? When have you ever seen A Ward back out of a battle? They were they were protesting valiantly against A Verb and Big K's complaints, but at the same time, A Verb and Big K got all the green light to bomb on him, and this is just part of the game. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, just take the slander cycle for a few days. We got a bunch of recaps coming out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then it's Thanksgiving. People forget about it. Battle gets rebooked. All this is water under the bridge. But, for 24 to 72 hours, you might got to feel the wrath of Big K. For God's sakes, Big K unblocked us to probably see what we have to say.
Now, Franz, man, I was joking a little bit with Ward, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I want him to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get these jokes off. And Ward, listen, man, for these past few years in your career, you've been hearing nothing but positive stuff, 100%, man. Like, you can take a day or two. It's okay, buddy.
It's all right. It's okay. It's like,
I understand.
Did you hear Verb? Verb was like, your Jesus Savior couldn't hear you from that alhamdulillah? Like, what are you going to do with that?
I understand your lungs are hurting and you're coughing. You got some aches and stuff, but it's all right, man. You will be fine. It's only the most you'll get is like, this will be over by Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? If Verb doesn't want to act up again, you know what I mean? You got to hope Verb is over this. But no, seriously though, man, A Ward, take care of yourself, bro. You're on the road all the time, man. Like, I joke with you, but I'm serious with you, Ward. Like, you're on the road all the time. You got to take care of yourself, bro. On top of that, you going back home to wifey. Like, you got to make sure you come back with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to, come on, man. Like, you gotta eat good. You got to take care of yourself, Ward. That's all I'm going to say, man.
Yeah, that's married man advice. Another married man advice right there.
Yeah, come on now. don't want to see you go out like that, bro.
I just say this: the weekend was centered for him. The stage was set for him. It didn't
That was a
happen.
disappointment that it didn't happen. I ain't gonna lie, man.
It was a disappointment. You know what I'm saying? But
It is what it is, though. Hey, but moving on, you're in Atlanta, you're there,
yeah.
and first order of events, man, Bags and Bodies, the premiere at the Regal Theater. These dudes went all out. They got a real theater. I saw hundreds of people up in that joint. Everyone was dressed up to the nines, man. People putting suits on, Snake Eyes looking crispy. Like he had a fly suit on, man. You was out there looking crispy, everybody. You know what I mean? Like, tell me about the vibes, tell me about the premiere. And then most importantly, tell me about the first episode you saw, Mike.
Man, when I pulled up, man, I seen a whole set of lights for Bags and Bodies. They had the red carpet, they had the backdrops. Everybody is dressed to impress. Well, not everybody. Some people came, some people didn't care for the occasion, but others took the occasion very serious. See my guy
Captain
Snake
Marketable looked like he was going grocery shopping, man.
seen Snake Eyes and man was spiffy. You hear me?
Spiffy, son.
Spiffy.
Son looked like he was getting married or something, man.
Boy, man, you know what I'm saying? Snake Eyes did that, and a lot of the people.
Hold on, I didn't see Gwitty. What was Gwitty wearing?
I don't think he was there.
Huh?
I don't think. I think he was in Atlanta. He went to RBE, but I don't think he was at the premiere. Like I would have definitely remembered Gwitty being
He's
there.
on the show.
He wasn't there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you don't forget a Gwitty in the room.
The logo. I hear you, man.
You know what I'm saying? I have no recollection of Gwitty that night there. Hitman pulls up. No socks. You know what I'm saying? Goes
straight Dominican style.
Straight Dominican style. Gets on the red carpet and everybody just forms in line one by one to take photos with him. Me, Tata, and shouts to Josh from OTFMZ. We all got together, media shit, and just took a photo with Hitman. Hitman had some staff there with Polaroids walking around taking pictures of people with a Polaroid camera. And where is it? I wanted to show it to you, but I can't find it right now. So I got a nice little Polaroid memory of me behind the backdrops. Nice. J2's in the building, Cali Smooth, a bunch of people from the cast is there. So we're all just like getting ready to head into the theater. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny enough, everybody's on the line getting some snacks first. I see Averb on the line, the concession stand. Hitman delayed his speech to go get some snacks. Jay Vlad gets some snacks. I'm there like on some popcorn too. What's
free
up?
Snacks? Free 99?
Absolutely not.
Oh, come on.
Still Regal.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, like we need to make money somehow with you.
I ain't mad at you.
So we all get our stuff ready. He gives a speech about the show. We give him a nice standing ovation. He gives the disclaimer: no recording, no photos, of course. Then the show starts. The lights get dark. You see Hitman pop up, and he reads the textbook definition of battle rap. Right, like whatever you see on Google, he reads it out loud. Then he chuckles and he goes, I think they left a couple things out. And then it just goes to like compilation videos of like the show, boom, 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 boom. And the show starts with like introducing some of the MCs in the house. You know what I'm saying? It gets really interesting because obviously we know a lot of the names that were there. Let me pull up this list 1 second. We know names like obviously Snake Eyes, Prestavia, Eon, Bad News, Cali Smooth, KD, you know what I'm saying? Some of the ladies, Fendi, Rockley, Hope Trilly, B Max there, Yo Bo Peanut was there, you know what I'm saying? A handful of names that we are familiar with. And a lot of the names from the tryouts ended up just making the house either way because they just needed as many people available. And so the premiere necessarily wasn't like the pilot episode, but it was like a 90-minute premiere of like all of the best parts of the season. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like you didn't really get a chance to follow a full storyline. Everybody was introduced in different spurts. And it felt a little, I don't want to say chaotic, but it just felt a little bit like hard, like out of like, there wasn't no timeline for what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know when everybody entered the house, who was like, if I did not know these people and I was watching that premiere, I would probably be a little lost for like the first 15, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But I figured he knew his audience, that everybody at the premiere was from the culture. So he just wanted to give
Right.
y'all the highlights as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
no complaints. I'm just speaking what I seen. And he starts off the show with like this scene where it's like, okay, in the house there's tons of challenges, right? So beyond everybody obviously battling, having all this short prep to battle, Hitman would constantly put challenges out for the MCs to do. Because the original pot for the bags and bodies was supposed to be $100,000. He decided to say 100,000 is too much. Let's split it. The winner of the bags and body tournament gets 50, and we have 50. The other 50, we're going to use it as prize money for all of the challenges throughout the season.
Nice.
You know, so
you have a chance to win 100 in total.
you have a chance to win 100 in total, or a chance
Right.
to, you know, win some of the
Yeah,
prize money if you don't win. So he starts off with like showing one of the many challenges, because there's a bunch of challenges that they show, but they started off with this one where it's like he has a hat, and inside the hat is like a bunch of like papers with letters. So everybody has to pick from the hat. They get a letter, and once they get the letter, they have to write a 90-second verse of just like punchlines or just like rapping of that letter. So everybody got like E, some people got like M, Bad News got the letter F, and Bad News just like, oh, okay, bet. You know, so everybody that got a letter had exactly an hour and 15 minutes to go wherever they wanted to go in the house, write that round and memorize it, and come back in an hour and rap it.
How'd that turn out?
Really good. I'm actually very shocked that there was way less stumbling and choking that I would have anticipated for that little bit of prep time. And after a while, I'm watching it because all the challenges are like that. Like, you got an hour, you got an hour and a half, you got this much time, make something and come back. And some people were cleaner than others, some were more fluid than others, but everybody seemed to have been able to write under that pressure really quickly and come back with some solid content, some more memorized and fluid than others. And at that point, I'm just like, how is everybody in this house able to just write in an hour, memorize it? Like, how? You know, I had to talk with J2, had to talk with Fendi, had to talk with also who else did I ask about this? Ask Eon about this. And I'm like, what was it like writing in an hour? Like, they're like, yo, to be totally honest with you, you're just so laser locked into that house. Like, all you have to do is rap. That hour is like the shortest and longest hour of your life. I'm like, what do you mean by that? They're like, well, obviously you're looking at every single minute as valuable time, but in the process, it also feels like it all slows down. So you're just so focused, like, that they're able to just complete the objective. I think I'll give you an analogy you can relate to. I know you used to do the push-up challenge all the time, and people probably think to themselves, I can't do 100 push-ups. And it isn't until like you finally get in rhythm of it and in shape for it, and you're in the mindset of doing it, that you realize, actually, I could do more than 100.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
So
probably
100 down to one, like Surf says.
so they probably got conditioned after a while from being in the house to be able to write, memorize, and rap in that speed of a time. And I think that is phenomenal.
You know what's mind blowing, France? We think back to Total Slaughter in 2014, and these guys had a day. They had a whole day.
8 hours.
A whole yeah. You know what I mean? To write it, memorize it, and yo, we seen how those turned out. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these guys couldn't complete their rounds. You know what I'm saying? So you think about that, and 8 years later, and at the rate that people are battling now, so many of these MCs are battling not just monthly, but twice a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, the level of the rate that the pens are moving nowadays from these new MCs is just so much faster than back in the days that it's remarkable. And maybe that's just where we're at now, where it's like these guys can just write this stuff and memorize it so quickly. Like, it's getting ridiculous.
It's like you look at athletes, like how over time they just become so advanced.
It's crazy, yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
nuts.
hold up, like this tall guy can move like a guard and shoot like a guard.
I mean, look at what Mayana, whatever his
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, they like this dude is in the 7'4", there was step backs, 1 foot knee up threes. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
this guy's 7'4" Harden. Like, this is ridiculous, yo.
20 years ago, they would have told Wembayama, like, get your ass in the post. Get in the paint. Go away from the line. What are you doing on the perimeter?
He was bringing the ball up. Like, what's happening here, man?
I'm saying, so this
Come
era
on,
of battle rap is conditioned to do that. And wow, that shit is crazy. So they kept like just showing compilations of different challenges. So that's one challenge that with the letter. Another challenge came up where they, again, with the hat, everybody had to pick out a paper from the hat, and the papers were themes. So whatever theme you had to freestyle over a beat and make 3 punchlines of the theme. So like Prestavia got sneaker brands. And so they throw on a beat, she's rapping, she has to stay in her flow, and she has to make all these freestyles without like really stopping or like having a hard cutoff. And they're counting you like, oh, you got 1 punchline, you got 2 punchlines, you got 3, you passed the challenge. Cool. Mac Myron went next. Oh my God, they gave him sports teams, and everybody's like, "Oh, so easy! That's so easy." And he started off really good. He had 1, and then all of a sudden he just tapered off. And he just like, and just started rapping with like just filler. And then he goes, "And I'm really mean, something, 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 Billie Jean." And then Hitman said, and cut the beat off. It's like, no, bro. No. What do you mean something, something, something?
You DNA?
So then when Hitman cut the beat off, you know what I'm saying, everybody started laughing at Mac. They're like, yo, Mac, what are you doing? Like, you lost, like, so he lost that challenge. But if somebody was like, so you do it then, Holla. I was like, give me the same theme, turn the beat on. And Holla jumped in and was just like, the beat started, he was waiting, boom. And he's just like, whatever your girl want, I'm copping them. Zell her some Washingtons, and start like Redskin Washingtons, and it just kept going with the scheme. And then I'm just like, oh, hold up, y'all forget this is Mr. Wild Style right here. Like
wild.
I thought it was really unique that he could easily have just been like, why would I do the challenge? I gave y'all the opportunity. I am my TV show. Instead, he's like, no, I'm game for it. I'll do it. I'll show y'all that I can do it too. I'm sure I can do it better than y'all. He's just that much of a competitor, man.
Well, yo, you're not gonna challenge him and him say no. Come on. Hey, Hitman, I bet you can't outrun that Ferrari on foot. Well, come on, dog. Let me get my shoes.
Yo, you challenge that guy to throw a freaking crinkled paper ball into a trash can, and he's gonna find the nearest notebook he can and just rip pages out.
Come on, man. That's Hitman. That's dope.
So Hitman did that. Then they like just kept showing multiple challenges. Another cool challenge was like, Hitman's like, you know what? This is gonna sound weird, but I want to do a 5-on-5-on-5. So he broke up the house.
What?
5-on-5-on-5.
Okay.
So he broke up everybody in the house, and everybody had teams, and the teams have to create their own battle rap round, but everybody had to rap in the round. And it was kind of clunky at first, but like some people got really creative with it. And what was really fun about the show is that a lot of Hitman's peers made cameos.
Nice.
It Will, Shotgun Shook, John Tay-Rock. And not only did they make cameos to watch everything, some of these guys participated in the challenges too.
Oh, okay.
So when they did the 5-on-5-on-5, one team had Ill Will on his team.
Oh, get out of here.
I'm like, oh, this is a cheat code. So the 5-on-5, the other 2-5 teams are just rapping regular battle rap rounds. Everybody has some chemistry going. When Will's team starts, Will's like, all right, hit it. And then everybody backs up and they start doing the dance like the Temptations, just snapping their fingers, moving.
It's a wilding out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then the person like just singing, incarceration. It was like carceration, laceration. And then Will's just hitting all the high notes. Prestavia's hitting high notes, and then Will moves to the whole crowd and just goes ISO, and then everybody starts jumping in and like mixing it up. I'm just like, yo, 100% this was all Ill Will's idea.
Nice.
Had
That's
to
what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, I'm glad. It kind of warms my heart to hear that Ill Will is in this series, man. That dude is one talented, funny ass dude, man. I can't wait to see this.
Tay
Yo, but
Rock.
friends, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
these reality shows. You know what? You go first. I'll ask my question after.
yeah. So Tay Rock made a appearance as well, and he wrote around in 90 seconds for one of the themes and one of the challenges, and it was amazing. And
What?
everybody in the house was like, "Whoa, we're watching one of the greatest battle rappers of all time come here and do this shit effortlessly." And Rock's like, "I didn't even know I could do this. Now that I know I could do this, I'm gonna do this more often."
Oh no! Oh no! Now we gonna have dudes thinking they can write 3 raps in 3 hours now,
took me
man. This is
took
gonna
me an
get
hour,
ridiculous.
took me an hour to write around.
Hmm. Carry the one.
But yeah, what you gonna ask about reality TV?
Yeah, man. So France, man, reality TV ain't reality TV without a little spice or a little drama. You know what I'm saying? So did anything go down in the house as far as this preview that you saw that will satisfy the insatiable appetite for drama that the battle rap fans have come to love and expect? That the reality show fans, shall I say, not battle rap, reality show fans.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Jay, that guy, from St. Louis, he was getting on everybody's nerves in the house. You know what I'm saying? People were trying to rehearse, and he would like creep over their shoulders, and people were like, "Yo, man, like, can I rehearse in peace?" And
Yeah.
he's just standing over them awkwardly, and him and Katie almost got into it.
What?
You know,
The two St. Louis guys?
Katie got heated. Like Katie, like they had the whole KD back. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yobo Peanut and Yogi the God got really into it as well over some girls that came to the house apparently, and Yogi did. I'm sorry, Yobo did something to Yogi that got Yogi caught up with the girls, and they're
What?
arguing and they're yelling at each other. And Yogi's like, "That's why you gonna lose. You focused on these bitches. I focused on this money."
Oh man, let's get it. Let's get it. That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of tension. The biggest one too, Snake Eyes and Bad News.
Oh, what went down with that?
I mean, out the gate, when they first started shooting for the house, we seen that clip of them two arguing and they had to be separated. So there was always tension there. News and Snake, they've battled and they've always had like this real energy of like always arguing, right? But at one point, there's a story where Snake Eyes gets drunk and
Mm-hmm.
Snake Eyes gets drunk, and apparently he came down to the basement where Bad News was and antagonized them. We didn't see the video of them fighting, but they fought,
Oh
and
snap.
yeah, they fought like.
Mm.
And Hitman pretty much said, "Look, like it was a weird circumstance, but the only way to like really hash it out is to have them battle." And then
Nice.
they prepared a battle for themselves at the I think like the front yard or backyard of the mansion.
Uh-huh.
Everybody circled them, so they were outside. Everybody circled them. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And
You want to stay with
it
daddy or
was
you
a
want to go with mom?
crazy battle.
Stay with daddy. Mm-hmm.
You good, man? You good? Don't worry about it. I
Come here,
know,
bud.
I know what it's like over there on your side, dad duties.
My bad, player. You know, I'm doing daddy duties, trying to do podcast duties. My
Don't even
man,
worry about it. That's why I'm talking.
my man sleeping on my lap. Nah, so no, for the people going, you want to stay with mom? You want to stay with I don't want people thinking like, what's going on in Vlad?
yeah. Listen,
Now that my son woke up,
to
it's like,
the listeners, focus on my voice.
oh, okay, I ain't playing.
Yeah.
So
So
they went outside the battle after, So how'd that go?
that
Did they
battle.
show the clip of the battle? It was
Oh
crazy.
yeah, they showed a round of it. That battle was crazy, man. That battle was intense. That
What?
was way better than their first battle. But the aesthetic of it was so wild because everybody circled them, and the
Yeah.
battle's being shot like 360 style. So like Snake Eyes is like wrapping around Bad News, and the camera's following him like the whole time 360. And I'm just like, yo, this battle was shot so crazy. And Bad News like just stepped up to the plate and was like super on point and just like landing haymakers after haymakers. They didn't say who won the battle, but
Right.
off that round, Bad News won that round.
I gotta see this, man.
Yeah,
I gotta see this.
it got intense, man. It was really dope. Some more things that happened in the premiere. Just a couple more little tidbits. They had one point where they did like challenges, like money on the floor. If you want to battle somebody, call somebody out, and you have an hour to ride around and bring it back, and battle for one round. Prestavia ended up battling John the Don.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Prestavia got a John battle under her belt. Jay, that guy, ended up battling Shotgun Suge, and that's how the infamous Hitman Holla versus KD. Excuse me. The Hitman Holla versus KD rematch took place.
Yeah, I saw KD talking about that, man. How was that battle?
Oh man, Hitman still got it, man. It's for the fact that Hitman prepared a round in an hour and got it ready. Like, I didn't know he was cut like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did a lot of the other challenges, and those was like themes. So like, that was probably a little easier. He did the freestyles. This man wrote a battle rap round and came back to KD and was just like, oh my God,
rare
man.
form Hitman, like he went in.
Like, Hitman was talking to him, like,
oh my God. Yo, you know what I'm surprised about? Especially like after seeing Total Slaughter and all that stuff. Like, I'm surprised that no one didn't like just have a round or like half a clip, you know what I'm saying? Like ready for Holla, like just in case he pulled up also. Cause I mean, he's still Hitman Holla, he's still mad competitive. So yeah, I know if I went up at that house, man, I definitely would have had a clip ready for Holla, man.
yeah, they did confirm season 2 has already been greenlighted. They'll be working on season 2 in January. Here we
France,
go.
where can they watch this at?
CoastalRain.tv, and Coastal is spelled COASTAL, and Rain is spelled REIGN.tv. CoastalRain.tv. You're gonna go there, make a membership of $5.99, and then you get access to Bags and Bodies. You get access to the premiere that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, man, let's do it, man. Let's show them how battle rap can support, because we do this, man, it only gets bigger and better.
Yeah, man, it was a really beautiful night for battle rap. Hitman Holla was really happy to see us there. He really wanted us to be a part of the season. Maybe season 2. We'll see if I could get 200 hours. If I could take 200 hours of PTO off and live in a mansion for 6 weeks with a bunch of battle rappers, I'll let y'all know.
Oh no, that sounds horrible, man. I would never want to do that. What's wrong with you? Why would you want to take PT off for that? You're crazy, man. I mean, unless they pay you an LB check, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, hell no, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's I would definitely stay for a week. I'll say that much.
No, a week for sure, man. 6 weeks, like, bring me home, man.
Just to say I did it, I'll definitely do a week for season 2. So Bags and Bodies was special. It was successful. I'm very proud of Hitman Holla, you know what I'm saying, for taking on the role of a league owner, for still having this much passion and love for battle rap as a whole, where even when he's not being a contributor in the ring, he's still being a contributor to the culture and the sport. He's helped over 16 MCs launch their brand and get this level of exposure that they have to parlay with now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the best part about it is he wants to keep it going, and he will.
Nah, fantastic, man. Yo, I can't wait to see this, man. You gotta be hyped, friends. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta be hyped, player.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for him. You know what I'm saying? I will say, side tangent, while the premiere was happening, we got a very interesting tweet, my brother.
Oh, what was that?
Let me just pull something up here, and I'm gonna read you this tweet. I just want to make sure something, because I'm like, why would this tweet happen right now while we're at this premiere? Like, what is this about? I had to raise my eyebrow.
Mm-hmm.
And this tweet came from none other than Mr. Murder Mook.
Oh, okay. What do you have to say?
Mr. Murder Mook says, "Hitman, please stop bothering me. If you want to battle, just say that. Then you can't downplay my achievements when you are literally on camera saying that you looked up to me. Did you forget early Holla with the braids? Exclamation point, question mark, dot, 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 dot. Your little bro forever and always," with a heart smiley emoji.
Interesting. Move versus Holla? France, what you thinking?
A little reporting here. They have a conversation with Van, Murder Mook's manager, over the week. And we had a chance to talk a little bit about some of the quotes that came out over the week about like Murder Mook having Arsenal and Briz on the table alongside Geechee, and he did confirm that those were the other options available, but Geechee was the choice they made. We had a conversation like, who do you want to see Murder Mook battle next? And I'm just like, it's interesting. He does really good against new era guys. Easy's there. Feels like it's a little bit too soon, but Easy's a good option. Hollow's off the table. Hollow and Mook's too close now. Briz is always a peak of interest, but I don't know how sustainable or reliable I could trust Briz. He's always like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Never really like kind of pump faking sometimes. So, and then we stopped for a minute. It was a brief moment, and we both were like, "What about Hitman?" He's like, "I thought about Hitman too," and we both agreed that that's an elite level battle that matches the brand, matches the viewership, matches the competition, and Hitman is a very more than formidable opponent for Murder Mook. In fact, the campaign should be starting within the next week or two. That's how I feel.
Man, especially after what Mook did, man. That'll be a crazy battle. But like you said, man, the timing, none of this stuff is by coincidence. You know what I'm saying, man? Everybody's keeping an eye out on everybody.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to leave that tidbit there, but salute to Hitman. I didn't want to, Hitman did an interview with us, by the way. I do have an interview with Hitman on the Zoom. So I'll put that in here as well. But I didn't want to ask him about the Mook stuff. I'm like, why am I going to ruin his positive night about like somebody calling him out right now? I'll wait a couple of days till he responds to it. He gonna respond, and maybe Verb pull up a space, and the Hitman be in his face, and then they just talk crazy, and then
let them quotes fly. Let them quotes fly.
Let them quotes fly.
Let them quotes fly.
Yeah, so shouts to Tata too, man. Staff writer.
Yeah, since she pulled up, man.
Staff reporter at LTBR. She always holds it down, man. She
worked hard, man.
Oh, she worked very hard, man. She had a grand time. Photos with Vixen, Lady Caution, Hope Trilly, everybody, Hitman, J2, Eon. J2 and Eon want to do a space and talk about the show with us. There's a lot to do. So
nice. All in all, sounds like a success, man. Black excellence, man.
It was amazing, man. Black excellence indeed. Hitman Holla continues to spread his greatness and just add on to his most decorated, lovely career.
Little Gerald, man, doing big things. I love it.
I get back to my telly. You know what I'm saying? I took a little nappy.
What'd you have for dinner?
I didn't eat. I just went back to the telly.
Oh my God. You ain't eat that whole day?
I mean, I ate when I like touched down at like when I first got to the hotel. I had like some Zaxby's nearby. You know what I'm saying? Just keep
chicken fingers. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
France ain't want to mess around, get something crazy.
Have
a blowout at the event.
You couldn't risk it. Just keep it simple. You
like,
know what I'm saying?
Oh, this chicken Alfredo, garlic sauce, buffalo jerk shrimp. Killing me.
Yeah,
where's the bathroom?
Just kept it simple and cheap. When I got back to the telly, I knocked out. I was hungry when I woke up. I wanted to get some Waffle House, but they closed it down because all you motherfuckers don't know how to act in Waffle House.
Turned it into the UFC.
Believe me. Then I caught the red eye. Uncle Ra was on my flight. Red was on my flight. Uncle Ra's in row number 1, but we're in a Spirit flight back home. So, there's no first class in Spirit, but I see Uncle Ra sit in the very first fucking chair, and I scream out, "Okay, first class. Okay, Mr. First Class." Just to blow his spot up.
Yo, did he have the earpiece on the plane?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's he calling?
Yeah, I knocked the fuck out on my plane ride. I have trouble sleeping on my planes, but this plane ride I was out.
Yo, I give A-Ward a difficult time, man. But Uncle Rob, you gonna have to take that earpiece out your head, man. I don't want you getting those radiations on that left side of your head, bro. It's time, Rob. It's time to let the earpiece go, bro. You do not need the microwaves getting pumped into your head 24/7, bro. Come on, Rob.
Yeah, man. So once we landed in Jersey, me, Unc, and Red, all went our separate ways. I caught an Uber back to the crib, made a pancake, you know what I'm saying? Made a nice banana pancake. She was slapping.
Oh my God, I can imagine. I'm on one
Yeah,
right now, man.
yeah, I knocked the fruit out when I woke up. Chrome 23 asked me to judge for the day,
Mhm.
and they told me, "Hey, can you be there at 2:30?" And I'll be honest, man, I probably could have, but I'm not gonna get no sleep. I'm like, "Can I be there at 3?" And they're like, "All right, but 3:30 is the latest. So make sure to get here before 3:30." And I'm like, "All right, bet."
3 o'clock with a 3:30 cutoff.
I was like, "Bet."
Yeah.
I woke up. I made some hazelnut coffee. I was like, I think
Mm,
I'm ready. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? I'm headed to the
Gotta
venue.
get that blowout, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm headed to the
Very
venue.
important to drop a deuce before you leave to go to a venue, yo.
Oh, absolutely.
Gotta make sure you empty out the bowels, yo.
Absolutely. Let me say this too. Since now I knew that I was going to be judging the Chrome event, I did
Yeah.
have the unified battle rap rules, which is the criteria they use to judge the event. I have I read it. I read it on
Yeah,
one of our
yeah.
podcasts a
Yeah.
few weeks back, and so I decided to say, let me read this over again. So on my flight before I fell asleep, I read it over. I read it on my way to Chrome, just so I could have the rules engraved into my brain. I get to
Mhm.
Chrome at like 3:30. I'm like, fuck, I'm probably late. I'm probably holding everybody up because they're like texting me. They're like, hey, what's your ETA? I'm like, damn, am I holding up the show? I get there. Remy Ma's not even there. Ruin your day, stand up. RNT, copy.
You know how it is. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait, man.
Yeah, hey, listen, if you want to rush me just so I can get there, and cool. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I got there. I try to I just greeted all the MCs, but I didn't really want to get into it too much with nobody just because like I'll be judging. So I just want to keep it neutral.
Yeah.
Um, I got the criteria and
Hold on. First of all, you gotta let them know who your fellow judges were.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I got the criteria, gave us a clipboard. So I'll read the criteria again for everybody that they don't know. There's 5
Mhm.
categories that goes into the battles, right?
Yep.
Punchlines, performance and delivery, which is one category together, crowd control, wordplay, and improvisation, right?
Mhm.
So the scorecard for this is you got to score 1, 2, or 3 points for each category of each round for the MCs. And like the total points that anybody can get per round is 15, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And so the total points of performance could be is 45.
Hold on. I thought it was 1, 2, or 3. So ain't three,
Yep.
9? A
Uh
total of 9 for that round?
let me just to make sure I'm not misexplaining it. So you have to give a score of 1, 2, or 3 for all 5 categories
Oh, my
per
bad. Yes,
yeah, all 5 categories per round.
yes.
Per round.
Yes. My
So
bad,
like,
kid.
no,
I
you
got
good.
daddy brain right now. I got
No,
baby
no, no.
brain.
Ask away. Maybe it's somebody now, understanding it. I want to make sure I explain this best of my abilities. So the most you can make in a round is 15 points. The most
Yeah.
you can have in a performance is 45. I get my clipboard. I'm ready to judge. My panel is none other than Papoose himself, sitting
Papoose?
right.
Papoose?
Papoose sitting alongside me. We got Miss
Nova
Hustle.
Scotia, Nova Scotia, Nova Scotia.
You feel
Papoose
me?
is it. Mm-hmm.
Miss Hustle was also on the judging panel.
Mm.
Swave Sever was on the judging panel. And John the Don, who was also at Bags and Bodies, is on the judging panel. I'm like, John, what you doing here, man? He's like, what you doing? He's like, what you doing here? Me and John judged the first round of Bags and Bodies together. So we're like, we back at it again. We back
You
at
guys are
it.
hilarious. We might as well get him on the podcast at this point.
Hey, John's a media guy now. He's gonna probably be like, oh, come on my show.
Right?
I need the hours. Salute to the
Yo,
Don,
France,
man.
I'm pulling a double. Can you come on my show?
Salute to the Don. I laugh with him. I was like, all right, bro. I'm gonna just say the opposite, whatever you say right after. He goes, I'm waiting for you to go first so I can do that too.
Yo, he's just kidding. France is just kidding, man.
Yeah, we're joking. We're just
All
joking.
jokes, all right. All jokes. All jokes.
Again, yes, all jokes, all jokes. And in fact, John wasn't even like I was in the middle, so I couldn't have gone first. I will always go third, no matter if it started with John, who was to my left,
Yeah.
or Miss Hustle, who was to my right. So, it's a pretty prestige panel, man. I'm the only media member on a panel with, you know, a very high prestige industry rapper and some legends in our culture.
Yeah, man. Yo, man, it says a lot about, you know what I'm saying? A little LTBR.
Just a little LTBR, that's all.
Just no LTBR.
So the battle starts, and the first battle we get to judge Miss Miami versus Cheddar. And I want to take time to apologize ahead of time because they took photos of our scorecards because we couldn't keep it.
Yeah.
And I forgot to take a photo of my Miss Miami and Cheddar scorecard, but I took photos of the others. But I do remember how the battle went round by round. So Miss Miami went first. Yeah, Miss Miami went first, and her first round was on fire. Like everything was on point. Crowd control, projection, performance, punches were solid, but like the bass and the delivery and just like the way she was able to just like impose herself in the room, it was working. Cheddar had a really solid first round. I edged it to Miami though. You know, Miami picks up right back in her second round, really strong, and this time has some humor. You know, everybody's trying to be versatile now because the criteria really favors versatility. So
Right.
Miss Miami implemented some humor into her bars and was landing these jokes, and the jokes got really big reaction. But after she got this big reaction from one of her jokes, she like lost complete focus, bro.
Oh,
She started to
man.
like cough, and you can hear the she's rapping her bars with the how do I remember what I'm saying?
Right.
As opposed to the confidence and the aggression that was there. Like you can see it's like night and day hearing her rap after that moment on. And so that stumble was a little costly. Cheddar took that round, and then her third round was her weakest round. And also, it seemed like she completely lost all confidence after that. I don't know what happened. Maybe that little split moment, she just lost her
Yeah.
focus. And Cheddar had a solid performance where like every round was pretty much like a 8 out of 10. Fundamentally, it was enough to beat somebody that wasn't fundamentally sound or rode downhill. I do think if Miami has another round like her first, she probably advances, but Cheddar held it down. You know what I'm saying? Everybody agreed. Everybody gave Miami the first round, but Cheddar easily won the last two, and Cheddar advances to the final four.
Hey, man, salute to Cheddar. Man, you're the champ that night, baby.
I got a chance to talk to Cheddar. I said, "Hey, listen, I got in my Shaq voice. I want to apologize to you. I wasn't familiar with your game. I had to keep that same energy. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize to Cheddar. Now the next two, I do have the scorecards for these, so this is getting a little bit more interesting. Bonnie Godiva takes the stage against Seabree the lyricist, and Seabree goes first. And let me tell you, man, Seabree starts off, you know, some jokes. Everybody added some jokes to their material this time around. Everybody really wants to check off all 5 boxes. But Seabree started off really good, man. You know what I'm saying? Her punches is landing. She gets in the chain punch where she's like, son, Cinnabon, I'm a monster like Digimon, and had a nice Bonnie and Clyde bar, and she got the multis going. But like, there's just, do you know, like, I don't know Seabree's artistry as far as like if she makes music or not. You know what I'm saying? But you know how I'm gonna say with this, Vlad. Like, there's battle rappers that you know are artists and rap and make music and go to the studio, and there's artists that battle. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And you can hear that difference in the delivery from their cadence or their flow. And Bonnie, who's always been a rapper, even though this is the year she's finally kind of broken out her monotone and really enhanced her delivery, like
Yeah.
Bonnie was just gliding on her. Like she was clicking on all cylinders. She's so far the only person with a perfect score in both rounds. Like all judges have voted for her all rounds. Not has been a single judge in the first two to vote against Bonnie, and she just had this bar where she's just like, "You from Flint, right? What you drink, get your throat slit, put lead in the glass, and just in case you homesick."
Oh,
Yikes!
Bonnie,
At that moment, Papoose grabbed me. Like he just like everybody get excited. Everybody want to grab somebody. I don't want to grab nobody because I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. But they grabbing me.
Don't get greedy.
So I'm just like, oh shit, Papa's enjoying this. Like I'm
Yo,
enjoying
man.
it too. It was lit.
Oh, I'm on mute. Oh no. Pause. I gotta say, friends, I gotta say major pause before this one, man. But friends, you do have a physique that's built to be grabbed, man. Like when I'm
Yeah.
standing next to you in a battle, the pause is crazy. I'm like, You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, man.
Major
So,
pause. Can't help but grab you, man.
Bonnie takes that first round. Unfortunately, Seabury just could not get it back from that moment on, stumbling all through her second. But really, really good material. Again, really versatile material. Bonnie takes that second. It's funny because Bonnie's second round wasn't as good as her first round. Let me give you the scores I have here. I had a total score of Bonnie with 11 points in the first, Seabury with 8 in the first. Then I had Bonnie with 9 points in the second, Seabury with 6 points in the second round. So, Bonnie, it's a game over. Yeah. Bonnie's winning. Seabury has a really good third round, but still has stumbled. So I gave her an 8. And then Bonnie's third round was like Mamba mentality, nail in the coffin, foot on your neck. I'm going to the semifinals. Hurricane Rock. All right. Like that baby in Bonnie's belly make her act different, boy. You know what I'm saying? She want that 25K. This woman is on a mission. She is determined. She has enhanced her performance, her delivery, her freestyles is on point. Like she's just like, it's just crazy to think people will be in this game 10 years, 10, 12 years and find a way to get better. You know what I'm saying? Some could argue this is the best Bonnie's ever been in her entire career.
No, I mean it is. Like listen, we know she's had controversy in the past. That's not what we're dwelling on right now. You know what I'm saying? But all that aside, she has worked on her delivery. She has worked on that, and it's improved dramatically. So, regardless of all that stuff from the past, she is definitely still working on her craft. And, whatever people had to say to, the bars allegations, the writing allegations in the past, like when she's freestyling and doing all that stuff, it's her showing you like, hey, listen, I know I still got to fight this, stigma, the stench that's on me. But look, man, I'm freestyling. I'm working on my delivery. I'm clearly working on getting better. And, man, she's enjoying the fruits of her labor. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, steadily advancing and killing it on RBE also, all the platforms that she goes on. So this is a year that Bonnie's really turned up, man. Like, salute to her for real. She's working.
Also win it, bro. Her total score for me was 36. Some of us on the panel had close to 36. Like me and Sway were at 36. John was a little bit ahead of us. Papoose and Miss Hustle were.
Well, they both from Yonkers. You know what I'm
saying? Papoose and Hustle were way ahead of us. Like everybody had the same verdict. But it's just everybody was a little bit. Some people were more generous with their points than others.
Yeah, I'm kidding about the John thing too. You know what I'm saying?
So now we get Caution versus Yoshi G. And let me tell you, man, Caution looking on point today, man. Had the braids, eyebrows done, fresh braids, glasses, skin was glowing, shit going. I was like, oh, Caution looking ready today. You know what I'm saying? And Yoshi fresh off of a back-to-back battle with RX. Probably less than 24 hours ago, flew out to East Coast from the West.
From West to East, that jet lag, no joke either.
Let me just say before we start with this, I'd never advocate for taking side missions in the middle of a tournament. Like I know people sometimes will double up in the first round, and I can eat that because the first round of a tournament, you probably had the most time to prepare for it.
Yeah.
You probably can balance and multitask. And in the case of the event, you don't advance, then whatever, you move on, right? First round exit, cool. Once you pass that first round, you have to be all the way committed because anything is possible at that point. Literally anything is possible at that point. And so she had the RX battle the day before, the Caution battle, and this is not, if I was like managing her or in her corner, there's not a move that I would advise her to have done. You know what I'm saying? Like side missions during tournaments are like high usage guys in the playoffs in the NBA. Like it just doesn't win.
Yeah, man. It's when I saw that it was back to back and she had to go from west to east, tough mission, man. That's a tough mission for anybody. Like, if anybody's ever made that trip from, from Cali to New York, like your brain gets scrambled, like your body feels different. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not the same thing. So to hear that she was, stumbling through some of the parts is not really surprising. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be like, hyper focused and super prepared. You know what I'm saying? In order to do that, only a few people have done things like that. You know, DNA. You know, John did the coast to coast trip and all that stuff.
I mean,
2 battles in one day. You know, like
even
it's
when
not easy.
Even when John did it, he choked when he went to the West.
No,
Remember?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying DNA can do. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like the only person I know who's been
Look,
successful like that. You
listen,
know what I'm saying?
everybody. Let me tell you
It's
something,
not
right?
easy to go coast to coast, back
Let me,
to back battles. Like it's
let me
not.
to everybody out there is gonna pull a Dre Dennis slash DNA slash Danny Myers slash Geechee move. I want you to stop to yourself and say, I am not Dre Dennis, I'm not Danny Myers, I'm not DNA, and I'm not Geechee Gotti. And I'll put A1 in that too, because I'm motherfucker battles 20 times a year.
Hey, listen, man, even Danny be having issues sometimes with that, man. So, you know, catches up to you after a while, yo. Catches up, man.
So listen, man, that just know your volume, know yourself, because at the end of the day, like, it's a very high risk, high reward. It sounds really great on paper when you do it, but the preparation process is treacherous, and when you don't do it, it hurts way more than it have not been done at all. So
Absolutely.
Yoshi starts off the battle, has a really good first round. Yoshi's pen is always on point. She's scheming heavy. I'm listening to the content. The content is good, but there's a gap between who she was versus Coco and Caution. You know what I'm saying? That this is not the same Yoshi so far. But and same could be said for Caution. The Caution that battled Chirac was not the same Caution that battled Yoshi. She stepped it up, Vlad. And granted, she had 3 full weeks to just focus on Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yoshi had 3 weeks to have to focus on the RX Caution and the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Internet's always on her back, man.
Caution, every round. Woo, she was sharp. The delivery was on point. The punches were there. She was direct. She had moments where she talked to her. Uh, it was.
Tell me
Oh
about
my
your scorecard
Let's talk
for
about
this
the.
battle.
Yeah, I had Caution winning every round by the scorecard, and I had Caution with 37 points total. Me and John had her with the same. John had 37. Swift had her at 38. So we're like all like kind of
Okay.
aligned.
Yeah.
Papoose had Yoshi at 41 and Caution at
Whoa.
42. A little shocked by that, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
A little generous.
Well,
Well, you know how the
yeah.
rappers are. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
Hustle had a solid gap, but also was a bit generous on the points as well.
yeah.
But ultimately, I wanted to ask all the judges, like I asked them to say, yo, does your total score for who you think performer of the night meet the eye test? Like, do you guys all agree? Caution was my highest performer by the points. Same for everybody else. So this point system kind of has some merit to it. You know, it kind of matches the eye test. And interestingly enough, Caution and Bonnie, who battled on RB about 3 weeks ago, are now face to face again 3 weeks later. And I had Caution with 37, Bonnie with 36, meaning it was really close. You know what I'm saying?
So it's gonna be very interesting now.
Very, very, very interesting, my friend. And so that battle gets concluded, and we're thinking to ourselves, all right, Shayna Ashley versus C3 time, but I don't see Shayna Ashley in the venue the whole time.
Yeah.
And Pap's like, hey, we need scorecards. And then Remy just waves her hand, like, don't worry about it. And she announces that the battle will not be going down due to a health concern of Shayna Ashley, who could not make it to the battle today. And because of that, she will be disqualified, and C3 advances to the next round. Everybody was like, "Rap, yo, C3, give me some bars, rap, son." And I scream out, I said, "Keep them bars, C3. Do not rap anything. Oh, hold on to them shit. You know what I'm saying? You got 3 loaded rounds. Just keep them tucked.
Right.
And do what you got to do." So hope Shane Ashley is okay. I'll throw this to you, Vlad. I know it's a bit. Not to get too nuanced with it, you know what I'm saying, or spin the block, but there's gonna be somebody be like, gotta keep the same energy for Shayna, got there for A Ward. And what would you say to that? Like, you know, Shayna no-showed. We didn't hear from her at all. She didn't tweet out anything. We just know that she couldn't make the battle due to a health concern. But
Well, here's the thing. I don't know what the health concern for Shayna is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't I can't say if she couldn't, and I don't know when it happened or what she went in for. With Ward, we've seen Ward at the club turning up, drinking. You know what I'm saying?
He did say he got COVID 2 weeks prior to that too.
He had COVID 2 weeks prior to that, beats the COVID, and decides to go to a football game with 100,000 people in Tennessee, drinking, you know what I'm saying, carrying on, gallivanting. It comes back home with an upper respiratory infection. So I cannot keep the same energy because I don't know exactly what happened to Shayna. And I didn't see Shayna out there partying and turning up and doing all that stuff. So I can't keep the same exact energy unless I knew what was going on with Shayna.
I'm just saying, there's gonna be somebody that'll be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like
Nah,
somebody.
it's all good, but we don't know the full extent of everything that's happening. You know what I mean?
I'll say this much, man. I would have loved for Shayna to have at least made a public statement for it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You know, maybe there's still time. Obviously, she could do so tomorrow. And I really hope she's okay because I actually had a talk with Direct afterwards. You know, like because he made this scoring system, so I just wanted to chop up
Right.
with him and let him know how the judging went. And he's like, she's never no-showed a battle before. This is the first time it's ever happened. I'm like, damn, like if that's the first time it's ever happened in her career, eh, for 25K on the line, you know, might be some
Yeah,
good
and I mean,
battle.
it's like she had 3 weeks to write these bars. It's like that's more than enough time. You know what I'm saying? So I'd like to give her the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? And I hope that she's fine. You know what I'm saying? I hope that whatever the concern was, that they got it all figured out, and that she will be all right, and that we get to hear from her. And hopefully, she decides if she wants to, say what happened, then she definitely can. But we know that the HIPAA laws told us that nobody else can tell us except for her. So you know what I mean? Prayers up to Shayna Ashley. I hope she's all right. All jokes aside, I know we all love battle rap, but most importantly, we want people to be healthy first. A Ward included. You know what I mean? And let's keep it all together because friends know, I mean, all jokes aside, yo, like there's a lot of people getting sick out there now, man. Like that upper respiratory infection thing, like it's real. Like there's a lot of people catching it and a lot of kids catching it and stuff like that. Like this is the sixth season. People really think like everything is back to normal and nothing, everything is just a whatever now. But like stuff is still out there, man.
We're gonna get to the traffic part of this pod soon, and shit happens. And Kid Chaos both reported that they had like symptoms like the week of their battle. Even that Friday, they both said they were sick. So they
Yeah.
probably both battled and probably gave a good performance while being sick. And this is just that time of the year, man, where like COVID and the flu are doing the Spider-Man pointed meme where it's like you don't know which is which.
Exactly, man. So yo, man, put your mask on. It's cool. You can put it on, man. You don't have to hang around every single last person. Stay safe this holiday season, man. Stay healthy because it's getting nasty out there, man. And
Yeah.
friends, like you said, man, this is the perfect segue. We're gonna bring on our man JSmo from Arizona. You guys have heard him on Twitter and all that. He's gonna give us a full breakdown of the Traffic 5 card. You know what I mean?
Before we get to that part, I'll say this to close off on Chrome 23. Had a really interesting conversation with Remy Ma. I need to hear your thoughts about it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm,
um, because I've seen Remy at all these events. I've talked to her briefly, but I didn't, and I know she knows who Let's Talk Battle Rap is. But like I've always told you, like I'm not egotistical. I don't like. I want people to know the brand for me. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So when she came and I'm at the judging seat, I'm like, "Hey, I'm France." She's like, "Yeah, I know who you are." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Hold on,
And
I gotta ask you, was it like a warm I know who you are, a pleasant I know who
no,
you are,
no,
a standoffish, like
no, it was
stiff
warm.
arm I know who you are?
It was very warm. It was very warm.
Okay.
What I found to be interesting is because the round one of the tournament, I didn't RSVP with the media list, so it
Yeah.
was a bit of a hassle to get in. But this time when I got there, the same security that's been covering all the events was there, and she's like, "Oh, let's talk battle rap. Let me in, man."
Okay,
And I was just
all
like,
right,
and
yeah.
I'm like, "You've known me for the last couple of events. What happened? All right,
All
cool."
right, they're like,
Yeah,
hey, I ain't good.
yeah. But today I had obligation to fulfill. So then, when I wanted to get an interview with Remy with the Zoom before I
Yeah.
left, just to talk to about everything going on, and I told her, like, we cover Chrome and we're gonna do what we do, write recaps and updates and articles, and it was an honor to be a part of the judging, and she appreciated it, and she's just like, man, y'all cooked me in that ladies and gentlemen article. I'm just like, yeah, just
Hold on, I gotta ask you. At
yeah.
that moment, You knowing who Remy Ma is, the entire history, and y'all both from the Bronx, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know how y'all Bronx people can be, you know what I'm saying? When she said that at that moment, what was your exact reaction in your mind?
Um,
In that moment.
I've heard from people that the staff at Chrome reads the articles, and I've
Oh
seen
no,
them
no.
share.
Remy reads
No,
everything.
no,
She don't
yeah,
miss nothing.
yeah. I've heard, right? But like,
Yeah,
I've never really like, and I've sent articles to her directly. I've never gotten a response back in the DMs. I know Chrome would share some of the articles, and
right.
so I was just like, oh, okay, great. I'm happy that we're talking about this now. And then she mentioned one of the tweets that I had a tweet. I was upset. What I'm saying, I did delete it, but I owned up to it. When the pay-per-view was not working and the event was delayed and everything was chaotic and everything was just going left, I was just like, there ain't enough Chrome slander on my timeline. What's going on?
You had a Bronx moment, man.
Yeah,
That was a dirty little tweet.
I took off my media hat and put my fan hat on for a minute. And, I was just really upset. I did delete.
I remember that. Oh, yo, what you doing, boy?
I did delete the tweet and just continue it as a regular scheduled program. But she
But
mentioned
she
the tweet.
saw it.
She mentioned the tweet.
She
said,
saw it.
yeah, she was like, oh man, you talking about
You wasn't slick, boy.
like ain't enough Chrome slander on my timeline. She's like,
your ass.
she was like, damn. I was like, yeah, damn. You saw that. Okay. And then it's funny because
My man's want to do the Homer Simpson meme. Just
oh
disappear.
just vanish into the bushes. And
you
so
see that little tweet.
yeah, because the event, even though we were critical of the event, we still gave a ton of constructive criticism and even highlighted a lot of the positives of it. And so I did get a little annoyed during the coverage of that event where a lot of people were like, "Oh, look at you're just shitting on the event." I'm like, yeah, that happened. I did tweet it, I deleted it, but like read this article. Like this 2,000 word article isn't just shitting on Chrome for 10 paragraphs. It's in fact highlighting everything that could have been better, that was done right, how they could improve, and what I'd like to see implemented in the future. So Remy did mention in our interview, you'll hear it yourself. I have the audio. She was like, I saw that you mentioned in our first round tournament, you gave us a 9 out of a 10, and I loved it. And the only reason we didn't get a 10 is because we didn't announce the scorecards for the judges, which is why we did that today. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like, I'm happy to hear that there was some impact from it. And she's like, our team was like, but wait, that's the guy that said, this, that. And she's like, it's not slander, guys. It's not hate. It's criticism, and I can take it because when they had to be critical, they were critical, and when they had to, give up and show acknowledgement for progression, they did. And I'm just like, Remy's been around the game. She's somebody that's probably been in the industry and famous longer than she hasn't been in her entire life. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way like LeBron has been in the NBA longer than his life than he hasn't been. So people like that, they just understand the nature of things.
The skin is thick, man. They got thick skin at this point in the game.
They got thick skin, and so she was just really happy that like when we made the article of the first round and we gave it such high rating, that all the improvements that she wanted to make were made and it was noticed, and she was happy about that. And even the staff were happy because they shared the article. A lot of people from Chrome shared the article too, so I was happy about that. And I'm just like, well, look, man, like regardless whether you have a good or bad event, I think you have the entire support of the culture. Like everybody knows that like royalty is here, and we're like, let's not act like this is normal. That Papoose and Remy is so close to us like this. You know what I'm saying? This isn't normal. You know what I'm saying? I know that like, we're close to all the battle rappers and stuff, so we kind of take for granted that they are public figures sometimes because we've cultivated such good relationships with them. But like, this is somebody that is like wealthy, legendary, established in hip hop, you know what I'm saying, established as a businesswoman. She doesn't have to do what she's doing. And she's doing it for the love of the culture, the love of a female battle rap and pushing these ladies to the next level. And everybody just wants to see her win. Everybody. And I mean, and I genuinely mean that all the media, rappers, people that support her, talk about her, cover Chrome. Everybody just wants to see Chrome 23 win.
Nah, for sure, man, for sure. And man, much salute to Remy. Remy, I thank you for not going ham on France and for appreciating that. LTBR, we really do try to cover battle rap with with some honesty, with some integrity. And sometimes, things are not always going to be favorable to an event or to a battle or something like that. But as long as we're giving you an honest opinion from more our perspective and being objective about it, and at the same time also letting folks know what they got right or what can be improved on, or things of that nature. Like, people know when things is hate. Like, you can feel a slanderous tone, or there's nothing positive about it. But truth be told, man, like, yes, we do want to see Chrome 23 win, because that's just another avenue for our MCs to get some shine, you know what I'm saying? Get some bread, get into some new lanes. So, man, salute to her for having that convo with you, and being lady enough to be like, hey, I can accept some criticism, and I appreciate that. She ultimately, at the end of the day, man, you always got to lead with respect, and once you do that, you can talk to anybody about anything. You feel me? So,
which I always do.
Yeah. And when I say you, I mean people. You know what I'm saying? In general, I wasn't singling you out. I'm just talking to everyone in general. So, we as people, when we are engaging in conversations, or if we have something that we were in disagreement or whatever, always lead with respect, because people could always look back and say, you know what, that was respectful, it was honest, either I agree with it or don't agree with it, or but I can move on and be like, at least that person was honest with me. I could respect that,
I feel like that's been the theme of my life the last 2 months, right? Like, just
boy, this has been your theme ever since I met you. You know what I'm saying? You walk up to people and tell them about themselves, and they go, oh, you know what? I can respect that. I'm always thinking you about to get your head knocked off, and I'm like, oh man, it's about to get crazy. Let me get in my stance.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can grab around here. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, it's always been like that. I don't know how you do it. I don't know, man. That's not a skill that I possess, to just walk up to somebody and go, hey, you know what you need to fix about yourself? Let me tell you. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, though, man, good combos, man. I'm glad to hear that alls ends well, because I've seen Remy at the homecoming joint. It was about to get nasty for somebody up there, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just glad they ain't get nasty for you.
Nah, man.
Up on a DNA tooth blog or something, man.
Oh man, never. Hopefully not, man.
Damn, y'all. Remy Ma, his fans upside the head, y'all. With a chocolate, y'all.
Me and Pap had a real good rapport, and me and Remy, I only really want to ask her like 2 questions, and the interview went on for at least almost 10 minutes. I'm really glad we got to build that rapport connection, and then at the end of the night, we took a big group photo. So that was dope. You know what I'm saying? She called me. I was like, come to take this photo together. And then she gave me some gifts on the way out. I got this chrome hat that you see on. I got a chrome Pooh Shiesty, you know what I'm saying? And I got me some
Godmother. La Madrina.
You know what I'm saying? Some pussy charms. Hey, listen, man. This joint gonna last me for a while, and this is a special occasion one, so I ain't gonna light it till there's a reason to light it.
Hey, man, I'm gonna have to. When I come back around, man, we can do that live joint. You know what I'm saying? Balls.
Yeah, but
all in all, sounds like a good night, man.
Salute to Chrome. I love the combo with Remy. I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to the next round of the tournament, the final 4, Cheddar versus C3, and Bonnie Godiva versus Caution, the rematch.
All right, man, let's get it, man. Chrome 23 making big moves. Can't wait to the final 4, man. Remy, salute to you. Pap, salute to you. Man.
All right, we're here, man. France. Let's talk battle rap with the legendary Miss Remy Ma.
Hi, how are you? How you feel? What's going on?
First and foremost, thank you for having me, Judge. It's an honor. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for judging. I appreciate it. Yeah. I'm excited to have people that are part of the culture, that are not biased, that really know what this means to these girls. and then I feel like everybody really took it serious. I appreciate you.
I've been to every Chrome event, covered it all. Wrote articles about every event, you know what I'm saying, and the progression is going along.
Y'all cooked me one time when it's like, I'm mad. What is that? Say some shit like, I'm not seeing enough Chrome 23 slander, and I'm bothered by that. I was like, oh my God. So when I did my last event, the first one for the first round of the tournament, like I made sure, like I kept that in my mind. I literally did so much myself. Like I was hands-on. I felt like the first one went so well. I felt like with the second one, I had to step back a little bit, which is totally was the opposite.
Did you feel the wrath of the savagery online that day?
Yes, I did. I absolutely did. But I was talking to somebody because I had sent them an article from Let's Talk Battle Rap, and y'all gave me a 9 out of 10. And the only reason why I didn't get a 10 is because I didn't explain the scorecard, which was something that me and Direct had planned to do. I just didn't get a chance to. And I was like telling them like, yo, that's dope. They're like, nah, you don't remember last time when they were saying they ain't have enough slander, and I'm like, nah, that to me makes me say that they not haters, because they could have easily not said nothing if you was a hater, but you gotta accept when people give you criticism as well as praise. So I'm still very new to this from this perspective, and I'm open to hearing what people think and what I could do to make it better. But then there's certain times where I just gotta shut shit down. I seen some shit recently.
I'll be the one to tell you, being a league owner is the hardest part of battle rap. Like, it's literally the hardest seat to be in, and I commend all of you for doing it. And like, you have made the stride, because from the first event was amazing, second event a lot of turbulence. From the tournament, the last round, and this round, phenomenal. The avocado included, everything's running on time, the operations are going well, and more importantly, despite like whether people are enjoying the events or not, I feel like the culture has your support so much. How does that feel, knowing the culture supports you so much the way that they do?
I mean, it's a wonderful thing when I'm passionate about it. Like, I think that's why they support me so much. They can see that I really care. Like, I'm not in this because I'm gonna get the bag or because I'm gonna get super famous, or because like I'm in it because it's in my heart. Like, when I see these girls, when they fly in and when they land and when they get to the hotel room and when we all in there and they with the hair and the makeup and everybody putting on their fit, like we all wear the same shit. Like, I wear what I can easily go in my closet and try to get stupid, crazy, fresh. Like, now I wear what they wear. I would never put them in something that I wouldn't wear. And that's what I try to prove by me. They like, yo, why you wear with the cousin? Nigga, I want niggas to know I would never put them in nothing that I wouldn't put on. I would never have their hair done by somebody I wouldn't have do my hair. Had their makeup done by somebody I wouldn't let touch my face. And by just being in this culture and setting up these battles, I get to talk to them a lot. I get to see what's going on in their lives, and a lot of them are becoming more to me than just rappers. Not saying like, oh, we besties or whatever. I don't have anybody that I'm particularly partial to, so please don't try to bring this up and say that. But I definitely get a direct insight to what's going on in their lives, and the reason why I do a lot of the things that I do. Like, I seen a blog not too long ago. Somebody sent it to me because I definitely would have seen it on my own. Somebody sent it to me. They were just saying like, oh, stop paying for their hair, stop paying for their makeup, and I'm like, that's spoken like a real broke person that never bought somebody something or gave somebody something that they never had before, or that helped their life or their day go a little bit better. Like, I know when you have children or when you have a regular job or when you have a life going on, how much easier it makes it when, look, you don't gotta worry about what you're wearing. I got your sizes, you good when you get there. Don't worry about who's doing your hair or how it's gonna look. Your hair gonna be fly. Don't worry about your makeup or how you gonna look on camera. Only thing I want you to focus on, here's your money, here you go. Your money don't depend on whatever happens that day. Here your money. I just want you to be an artist and focus on your material. And I feel like that's why I get the support of the culture, because they see that that's what I'm putting into it.
You have done so much for the branding of these ladies, like from the music video, the song from everybody on the first card, you know what I'm saying, the incentive, the awards, which then turned into like accolades and covers and milestones for people to have. Like, Hustle can say, not only was it the main event for the first Chrome event in history, I was also the battle of the night. And I love that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you've invigorated a whole new level of motivation and like hope for the ladies, because battle rap as a whole is a difficult industry to break through, especially for the ladies. And now they have like the optimism, like it's possible. The one-shot card, giving all those shots. So I love what Chrome is doing. It's my last two questions for you, right? What's been the biggest thing you've learned so far now? You're 5 events in.
The biggest thing that I learned, two. One is that you can't give up. I knew that already, but it's so easy when I got 1,000,001 other things going on that is lucrative and that brings me a bunch of money and it goes in tune with the Remy Ma brand. It's so easy to be like, nah, fuck this shit. Like, I really had to take, this shit is time consuming. You can't give up. Like, it takes a lot of time to book all these flights, make sure everybody's hotel, make sure everybody's car service. Like, it's not easy. A lot of people are like, yo, well, if you a league, why you ain't doing this? How come you're like, it's not that easy.
It's not easy.
And that's what comes from somebody who, I have a lot of things going on play. I wear many different hats. Another thing that I learned is that you never know how bad it is for somebody else. Like, I've had people come straight off of a death, like, not a cousin or, you know, like their parent, their grandparent being sick for a whole week, hoping that they, you know, they're able to perform and in good health, or stuff with their job, just the kids, all of these things. And, you know, I feel like sometimes people like, yo, they just be making up excuses. Nah, this is real life. And then outside of us, we fans. I'm still a fan. We just want to see the performance. Come in here, rap. I want to hear some shit. But a lot of things go into that. So I commend any rapper that ever stood here, because it's hard to be in it and focus and remember everything when you got so much fucking shit going on. So I commend them for that, and that's something that I take into consideration.
The last question I have for you, I don't want to keep you too long. Is Shayna actually okay? When people hear people don't show up to battles, they never stop to ask, is the battler okay? Is Shayna okay?
The last I spoke to her, she was speaking and she was going to make sure that everything was okay at the doctor's office. I mean, I hope that she's okay and everything is well. That's very important to me. Like, my main thing, I tell people all the time, you can't take care of nobody until you take care of yourself. Like, I would have loved for her to be here and participate, because it's a big deal. A lot of them, like, this is probably the most money they had at one time. And it's unfortunate that she's not able to be here. So, yeah, definitely, I believe she's okay.
I hope so. Well, I will continue to cover this tournament. I can't wait to see the semifinals and the finals. You know what I'm saying? Can I get a drop for Let's Talk Battle Rap before we get out of here? She's enjoying a great cookie. Are going to enjoy some food after an event? You know the vibes.
What up, y'all? It's your girl, Remy Ma. Chrome 23. Y'all already know. Let's Talk Battle Rap. I mean, what else can I say? If y'all want to know the real, y'all want to know what's going on, this is where y'all tune in, all right?
Thank you, Remy. France, Let's Talk Battle Rap. Here with Papoose. Had the honor of being on the judging panel for Chrome 23's second round. Pap, is this your first time judging in the modern era?
Is it? Probably not, bro. I mean, I did a bunch of shit, man. I judged over the years, different things.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say that.
All right. How'd you feel about the battles today, bro?
I loved it, man. First and foremost, I'm a fan of hip hop before anything, man. Like, I'm a true fan of this shit. So just being here in this environment, and it take a lot. Shout out to all the artists who competed today, because believe it or not, it take a lot to prepare. You know what I'm saying, on this type of level. So just to answer your question, I loved it, bro.
Yeah, man. The tournaments are made for only the strong survive in these tournaments. You know what I'm saying? It's a real gauntlet getting ready. And I'll leave it at this, man. Our top two performers, we got the same scorecard, Caution and Bonnie. It's a rematch now because they battled a few weeks ago. How do you feel about that in the semifinals?
We got to see what's going to happen, man. Bonnie is an animal. Caution really showed up today.
Yeah.
And showed that she, you know what I mean, she on her A game too. So I really don't know. We just got to wait and see, man. But shout out to both of them, man. They both came through today with immaculate material.
I appreciate that, Pap. Sign me out, man. Let's talk battle rap.
Let's Talk Battle Rap, man. It's your boy Papoose, and I'm representing once again on Let's Talk Battle Rap. Yeah.
All right, man. We just came off the premiere Bags and Bodies France. Let's Talk Battle Rap with your man Hitman Holla.
You know what's up? You know what's up? What's up, my boy?
Hey, man. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I was at the early stages, at the tryouts.
You came and showed.
And now a whole season has happened. Is this everything that you envisioned?
It was better. It was better than I even imagined. I had high expectations, bro. High expectations. Was it better than you expected? Is the question.
Same answer.
And that's crazy. And coming from you,
Yeah.
you ain't somebody who's just gonna be saying stuff. Like, you really live.
Right.
You've seen great battles. You've been in great events. Like, you and Jay Black seen it. So for you to be like that, that means it's really that. You know what I'm saying? You're a hard critic at battle rap. For somebody to be like impressed.
And I've been watching you live 11 years. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta ask you about the challenges that they forced you to do. You did the sports team, John. You battled KD.
They put that wrong. We gotta fix that. I'm glad you said that. They gave me movie star. Yeah,
okay.
They gave me movie stars. Yeah. So like I said, I was putting them on the spot and letting them do it. Then they got tired. Like, well, Hitman, it's your turn. So I jump in every there. They did the one-offs. Everybody did it. Hitman, you gotta do it. So I poured the name out. Got KD.
That's a good sport of you because you could have just been like, yo, I made this. I don't have to do this.
Yeah, but I'm always, me. I'm still gonna always.
But I was equally as impressed with your peers, not only showing support, but participating.
Tay-Rock.
Talk about Tay-Rock, Will, and John.
Will, Tay-Rock, John, Shotgun Show. Like, these are dominant names. These ain't just names.
These are pantheon names.
These are names who just came back. I'm not hollering. I just want to judge them chilling. They came in there. Shotgun won some money. Shotgun came like, I won some money. You know what I'm saying? Then, Tay-Rock, bless you. I saw it, man. That's what I was trying to tell you. I couldn't tell you yesterday, bro. It was that kind of magic happening, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it ain't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then that ain't even, that's just stuff we just gotta, all that stuff, it ain't, I can't wait, bro.
Well, I'll close with this, man. Tell us a little bit about the distribution of this show. Like, when can we expect it? Yeah. Like, where's it going to be at? And a little bit about season 2, since you confirmed it.
Yeah, so season 2 confirmed. So we're going to start that early next year. Auditions January. We start probably filming spring.
Hit me up.
I got you. And, it's an app. So Coastal Rain TV's app, just like Zeus app and Peacock, all that stuff. It's an app. So it's going to be on Hulu, Roku, Apple TV, Samsung. It's gonna be any streaming one you can pull it up.
So do we have a launch date?
I'm finna work on that now. I just wanted to do this.
Say less. We
working. We ready because everything ready. They wait on us.
Well, look, man, I won't take up too much of your time. I'm proud of you. I just want to say it again. Thank you for having me here. I'm honored to be a part of this. You made history today. You're gonna continue to make history as you always do.
Appreciate it, man, my man. I love your friends.
Appreciate you, my guy.